What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Spawncast episode 66, right, Evan?
Yep, 66.
All right, good. Evan's keeping it in check. I'm actually joined by quite a few people tonight, so we're gonna have to move semi-quickly because it's gonna be a crowded show, but it's gonna be a fun show because of it. Let's actually just go down the line here. I'm looking on my screen. Sean, RGT85, what's up, man? How's it going tonight?
Chilling, doing good.
Good. And then we have RAXtheGREAT. Rax, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me again.
Yep, absolutely. Then we got OJ from PlayerEssence.
I have a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Pro Controller.
Ooh. I have one.
That's it. That's all I have to say.
I was just checking out Warframe that was on the eShop. And then we have we lost someone. I think we lost Evan. That was fine. I was going to introduce him, but that's fine. we have Max, Dreamcastguy. What's up, Max?
Hi, how's it going? Underslept and overgamed. I'm good.
Oh yeah. You've been playing actually a game a lot of people are interested in, but I know you can't really talk specifically about it.
I can loosely allude to the first 20
Oh wait,
hours.
yeah, because you're a lot. There's preview stuff, right? The preview embargo's up. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. And then Evan's back. Evan, what's up?
I'm doing all right. I don't know. Hangouts aired. We probably have way too many people in here.
I think you're allowed to have up to 10 people in one of these, I think.
Really?
I think that's how many you can have in one. And then we have Austin John from Austin John Plays. What's up, man?
Save the best for last, obviously.
Well, you got the coolest backdrop right now, man. You got that that really sweet Majora's Mask back there.
We'll just do a quick zoom out. There we go. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, man. I was looking at your Majora's Mask.
I was looking at a siracha.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Where's a sriracha?
Yeah, we're just gonna look at his background now.
That's just a pretty much a ghost pepper paste.
Ooh.
Oh God, no! I did that once by accident, and I regretted it for days.
You can see he has the what is it? The figure arts. What is it?
The what?
The Majora's Mask. The branding for that.
Oh, first four figures.
That's what his first four figures. Yep. So he has that in the background and everything. So he's set up pretty well there with some sweet stuff back there. So very cool.
Nice.
Let's do that. There we go. And this thing's fine. There we go. Okay. So we brought a bunch of people together because we want to talk about a couple things that happened this week. Let's first talk about what we've been playing. Now, Max is probably playing one of the more interesting games right now because it's out this Friday. I know a lot of people are asking about it. Max has been playing. What's that, Max?
Octopath Traveler. I have the full game. I am probably about 25 hours into it. It's hard to tell how deep I am into the game, though, because normally I am a RPG master. I've beaten literally hundreds of them. That's my forte. But usually they introduce some sort of antagonist or main problem to solve so you can figure out how deep you are into it. I can't tell with this. There's not really a main bad guy yet, so I really don't know how it's going to end or what I'm doing yet. It's cool though.
You're liking the battle system visuals, everything so far?
Yeah. Oh my God, do I love the visuals? I love the visuals. I love the music. I think the art. I think the graphics are really cool. I get a little bit annoyed. It really toys with making three-dimensional effects by putting the foreground or background being blurry slightly, and it does that a lot in certain spots where it really doesn't need to. You'll literally be walking through a cave and it's ooh, look at all these blurry stalactites right in front of the camera. It's you really don't have to do that. That's not making it look cooler.
Okay.
It's all about the depth of field, bro. Gotta have that bokeh.
Yeah, it simulates that, but in a weird way. I think I'm a big fan of the way you sort of just buy the magic you want. I think that's a really smart way of just literally battling. You get job points, and then you spend those to just buy the spells you want. So it feels really cool if I feel like I'm customizing somebody's job class the more I use them, instead of just randomly being instead of magic just being kind of dropped in your lap. You're really kind of building out somebody the way you want. You can save up and buy a strong spell early on or whatever.
Oh, okay, cool. So there is actual customization and stuff to all the characters. And
yeah.
Cool. All right, good. That's good. You're going to have a full review for that, right?
Yes. Whenever I beat it, and I'm trying to beat it, I go out of town. I'm doing a convention. I'm leaving town for a convention on Thursday. So I'm trying to have a review up before I leave. But if I don't beat it, I won't have a review up. So if I don't have a review up Thursday or Friday, then I'll have a review up Monday. So definitely, If you're not already subscribed, then I'll drop the details.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I think everyone's looking forward to seeing how that game turns out. I think a lot of people are. I mean, who's picking it up here on the podcast? I'm picking it up, obviously. I actually have the Wayfarer edition.
I've had the Wayfarers edition. The day that they said you can pre-order it, it was I went pre-ordered it, dropped it right there, man. I had to.
Yeah, I had to go get it too. But
You know what? I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate here. I don't think the game looks that good.
how do I boot Sean?
The island.
I don't like. I like the demo. I thought the demo was fun, but I don't know, man. Like something about it just seems a little off to me. And I feel like one of the main things is there's so much damn hype around the game that I think a lot of people are going to be overhyped.
That's
on it.
fair.
Oh, yeah,
There's
dude.
a lot of hype around it. I will say that.
It is. Don't go to the forums right now. Anybody who talks, anybody who explains what's going on with the game right now, people are like, liar, burn the journalist. It's like, okay, people, calm down.
Like I don't know. Like I am super looking forward to Monday though, when my review copy of Shining Force Resonance comes in, or Shining Resonance Refrain, because I thought that demo was fantastic. It plays like Ys 8 and there's freaking dragons in it. Like that is the game I'm looking forward to playing next week.
There are dragons. That demo was only like 20 minutes long though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty quick. But I thought it was fun. You know, what was there?
Oh, sure.
The gameplay mechanics are nice. It's a little too weeaboo-ish for my normal liking. Like there's definitely a lot of anime shit in there, and like that's cool. It's just not my world. But I think that game's gonna be dope. And I don't know. Oh, go.
No. I don't want to cut you off. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. Spawn, I've seen you talk about Octopath Traveler in like every single game you've played. I played the demo and like it didn't hook me.
Really? You don't like it?
I mean, I played like I also think like I was playing it on the plane back from E3, and like after just days of nothing but tequila, power naps, and Cliff Bars, I was like already mentally drained. Like I wasn't able to give it like the full attention that I give my games on gaming monitors and stuff, because like as silly as it sounds, I don't like playing the Switch in handheld mode. Like for me, it's a home console, and that's how I enjoy playing it. Like the only game I've ever enjoyed in handheld was Mario Rabbids, and that's because I was able to just like be on the treadmill and have the Joy-Cons and like strategize every move. But like anything actiony doesn't work for me. So because of you, I'm gonna give the demo another try.
Did you try the new demo that came out?
Why are there more than one demos?
The new demo is basically the first 3 hours of the game. The first 1 hour of the game.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the demo that I downloaded.
Oh yeah, they also implemented a lot of changes from the feedback in that new demo as well. So they did make changes. So that's another reason why they released another demo.
Yeah.
I have the demo that says I'm allowed to play the first few hours.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's it.
The thing is, I think a lot of the reason this game is hyped to the moon is because of Final Fantasy fans like me. Like, I'm obsessed with Final Fantasy, beating every version of every game. I even have the crappy Final Fantasy anime up there on my shelf. I feel like people like me are like, this is going to be the new Final Fantasy. And that's kind of what it feels like it's supposed to be, but it doesn't quite hit that.
I see Wishbone, I see your super chats. I'm actually going to hold them until we do the next generation talk, because we'll have that, and I'll bring those up then. Thank you.
Can I add on that real quick? Which is what you said, Dreamcast, dude?
Yeah.
Basically, like to me, I think a lot of the hype, that was kind of like the hype that came in later after people started saying, like the producer said, oh, well, it's kind of like, Spiritual Successor. I think the hype beforehand was Bravely Default. Bravely Default was really good game. That sold over 1 million copies on the 3DS, the first one. Then the second one sold over 700,000 copies and counting. Square Enix hasn't given us any recent updates, but I mean, you got 2 million copies right there. So I think a lot of the hype kind of came from that, because some of the developers were working on that game. Although it's a lot of a different staff. I mean, we don't have the same director from the first one, but there is some staff in some of the Square Enix. So I think that's where the initial hype really built up from, was because Bravely Default's awesome. I mean, there's a stupid part in Bravely Default that everyone knows about if you played the game that everyone hates, but outside of that, the game is awesome. And then Bravely Second is good. It's good. So I think that's where a lot of the hype kind of came, was like, oh snap, we're getting like a console version of Bravely, Default that has graphics like Final Fantasy, like old school Final Fantasy. That's cool.
Yeah. I guess I don't hear anybody say that. I've been skulking around the Octopath forums though, and it seems like people are trying. I think that they should not have said in that quote where this is supposed to be a spiritual sequel to Final Fantasy VI. I don't think that quote's doing them any favors.
It's probably hyping it up a little too much.
Yeah,
Even Avidin actually says in the super chat, Octopath is cool to him, but he understands the game's probably not going to appeal to everyone, and I get that, because it is a slower game.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, what game appeals to everyone, though? I mean, there's not what game
Smash
appeals
Brothers.
Breath of the Wild.
Honestly,
Yeah.
There's very few.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Pong. Pong would do it. I'd be okay. I mean, who doesn't like Pong? Tetris. Who doesn't like
Kids,
Tetris?
today's kids don't play that crap. They play Fortnite at school.
There's nothing wrong with Fortnite. My
No,
addiction is still very strong.
I play Fortnite today. It's fun. It's good.
I've put like over 70 hours into the Switch version of Fortnite.
I'm still gonna always be a hipster about this and say I liked Fortnite Battle Royale before it was cool.
See,
I hated it before it was cool.
I played it on the PS4 and the Xbox One, but just like laying in bed, like half asleep, and it's like, oh, I can't sleep, and it's like, oh, look, this stupid Nintendo Switch is next to me. Let me just play one round of Fortnite, and then like 3 hours go by, and I'm like, yeah, the sun's coming up, birds are shitting on my car.
Dude, I treat that game way too seriously. I have almost 300 hours into it now, and I just treat it so serious. Like I sit down, I get my Red Bull, I'm like, all right, let's win.
Gosh. Oh man. Yeah, I'll be curious to see how the Octopath sales do as well. I think it'll do pretty well in Japan.
It's number one in Japan, Amazon Japan, and I think it's still number one on America. I think on Amazon.
I hope it sells really, really, really well because I think that Square Enix is betting a lot on this.
Look at that. See, even Avidin saying Rax is trash in Street Fighter.
Hey,
That's why I won most of those matches, Avedon.
Oh man.
Only
So
you can see
yeah.
his tears.
So Octopath, I'm gonna keep an eye out for your review though, Max, to see where you are with that. Hopefully you get it done before you leave because I wanna see what your thoughts are on it. But either way, I'm picking it up either way on Friday. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. What else is everyone playing this week?
Man, I've been playing Sonic Mania Plus. I'll have a review for that. It's good. I mean, the added stuff is nice. You know, it's cool.
Did they send you that?
The original.
Yeah, and the physical pack. Let me grab
Yeah, they sent you the physical copy, right?
Yeah. Hold on.
oh, then I'm going to type to Sega. Send me one. I want a physical copy. Ding it.
Oh,
Is he getting
coming
it?
back?
All right, man.
Never
Rip
seen or heard
RGT.
from again.
That ended quickly.
Paladins has gotten some nice updates on the Switch too, so it's got
The new event and the new hero, right?
yeah, good stuff. Like we played it. It's so good. If you guys haven't tried out Paladins yet, check it out. It's really good on the Switch. So we were playing that today too. It's a lot of fun, especially if you get a group together and you can get we got a 5-on-5 all the people in the village today. It was awesome.
Have they announced when it's going to go completely free to play? Because I think that's when the player count will jump even further.
Not yet. But we definitely need that update because it's putting us in bots too much. Like if you group up with 5 people, you know, they're not going to put you against somebody else who's not having 5. You know, so we definitely need that free update job.
So you have this cool slipcover.
I don't know what.
Oh,
That's not
I'm
the
looking at
camera.
the wrong camera.
I was like, why is he holding?
Oh, that's a cool slipcover.
That is pretty cool.
Slipcover.
Oh yeah, that's nice, man.
You got
Ooh, holographic.
you got the game. There's a Sega Shop thing in here where you can like save money on it or something. There's actually, because it has the flip cover, so it has the Genesis.
Oh,
that's sick.
Yeah.
Why have you not flipped it over? What are you doing?
And then it has an
Delete
artbook,
yourself.
too.
Yeah, I was
So-
about to say that that slipcover seemed a little thick just to have that
that looks
case
nice.
in there.
Yeah, it's definitely a very nice package. So there'll be a lot of Sega shit on the channel next week between this and Shining Resonance Refrain.
I'm being informed by Evan that one of our Discord questions is Sonic related.
Drop it on us.
Drop
What
it.
is it? What is
I
it?
guess
Evan?
I'm gonna have to post this in our chat if you guys want to check it out. One of the guys, it's sort of a meme question. He wants to know what you think of that toaster. Apparently, Sega is selling a toaster.
A Sonic toaster.
Ah, I love it.
Got it toast fast.
There's a Sonic toaster.
Oh, wait. Did you look at the toast itself?
Yeah.
Oh my!
Got Sonic's face.
Sonic
It
face
toasts
into the toast.
Sonic onto the toasts.
There are only a few left because 870 of the 1,000 they have are sold.
Oh man, I kind of need that.
You don't need that.
But it's Sonic Toast.
But it doesn't toast your bread evenly.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Look at the inconsistencies. In the
look at the bottom of the bread. It's like completely white. Like
Dumb, weird. Well,
Next Spawncast, Sean's just crunching on Sonic toast. Just
Yeah.
That'll be the thing to kill him.
I will say this probably sold more than the Sega Saturn though, so I'll give him that.
oh,
Oh,
I saw.
man.
I randomly went into the Game Explained Discord, and some guy actually owns there's apparently 4 different Sonic toasters, and he was comparing the burns, how it makes Sonic's face on bread, and I wanted to be like, "Whoa, dude, you are too much of a nerd even for me. What the hell?"
It said it was $35. I guess that's not terrible for a toaster.
Worst part is I like rye bread, so think of how much empty, untoasted bread I would have on the sides.
Dude, I gotta talk to my Sega guy. Like, they've got some decent shirts. They got a fucking night shirt in here. This is the first time I've ever seen a night shirt in my 33 years of existence.
Is that similar to a nightgown?
I mean, I would
is.
wear it like one.
I mean, you can just, it's their shop, Sean. You can just buy it.
I mean, I could, or I
Wear
could,
it on
like,
camera,
or I could be like,
consider it
dude,
right off.
I will. Oh yeah, that would be.
Sean, you're verified. Use that advertiser money.
Yeah, I'm very frugal though.
Do you
I
see
can
what he's
tell by
wearing
your
right now,
bowling
right?
outfit.
He has to conserve for when the Dr. Pepper apocalypse occurs.
It could happen.
When he gets Dr. Pepper cancer. Wait, that was dark. That was dark. Undo.
That's fine. It's fine. People have said much worse to me.
Diabetes.
Oh man, that's cool. Sean, when's that out though? The Sonic physical Mega Plus. When is that?
17th, I believe, and I can talk about it Tuesday the 10th. So
Cool.
that'll be up. I guess got to work on that tomorrow.
Man, I'm probably gonna buy it. Legit, that's pretty free. You've already convinced me to buy it. I just wanted it phically. I loved the game originally. I don't really care about special
same.
features. I just want the game on my dang shelves.
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm going to Amazon right now and buying
Yeah,
it.
same. Hell yeah.
Literally on Amazon.
I like the reverse cover art. That's the coolest thing about it, I think.
Yeah, it's freaking slick.
I didn't buy the game originally because I knew they would do this. I know Sega's cheap butts would do that. So I'm like, I'm not going to even buy the game. I knew they would do that. I'm going to get it now. But I knew they would do this to us.
I bought the game and Sega accidentally sent me 4 copies of the game originally. I ended up doing a couple. It's like, stop! I don't know why your bot keeps sending me codes. I reviewed it. Stop. Like, would you like a code? Like, no, stop.
Yeah, it does look better.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
That
looks great,
man.
So good.
Looks
Now,
great.
Oh my
I
God.
own the original Sonic Mania, and I know for the Plus it was only like $10 or something. There's no way to get the physical release with that discount. That's not a thing.
Okay, and people are calling me cheap here. Jesus, Mister 450,000 subs over here. Oh, $30.
No, it's 449,990. I'm 10 away. Of the 989 people watching right now, if you're not subscribed on YouTube, Austin John Plays, I need 10 subscribers. If you're the 10th, I'm gonna give you a high five. You just need to come to New Jersey.
Yeah, I do see. I'm gonna pick up this Sonic Mania Plus while I'm at it too. The physical copy is too cool looking. I'm gonna have to get that.
I bought Yonder physically because it was on sale. I wanted it. It was on sale for like 31 on Amazon shipped, and it came in today. And I've been playing it. I played probably about 2 or 3 hours today. What an interesting game. I could definitely, yeah.
Break it down for me real quick. I'm sure we got to move to other topics, but I saw your screenshots. What is it?
It's like a Breath of the Wild with no combat. All you do is like you make a farm.
450.
Jesus.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
It's weird. Like you there's a mist on certain parts of the world. You have to find these shine sprites, or shines they're called, to unlock the mist in different areas, and you could progress through the different areas. You're trying to figure out why the mist is even there. You're trying to find people that were on a boat with you that crashed. That's like the first thing that happens in the game, so really no spoilers. But like there's so many different missions to do, and it's just a game that you could pretty much play at your leisure. But it's like, I don't know, like it's just weird. Like I'll play it and I'll just be like, oh, I just want to play 20-30 minutes. I'll do a mission or two, but then I just get like sidetracked and I start doing just random missions and stuff like that. I could see how it could potentially get monotonous unless they do interesting things to switch up the missions. Like I said, there's no combat, but you do get a bunch of different tools. So like you get a hammer to break rocks, a sickle to get different grass cut and stuff like that. And like I said, you're constantly building farms and you can hire people to work on your farm. It's really
okay. So no combat, but a lot of physical things, dude. That's what worried me.
Yeah.
When you said no combat, I pictured it one of those games where you kind of like walk around and maybe pull a couple blocks. If I'm smashing stuff and cutting stuff, I can still get into that.
It's not
Harvest Moon or Animal Crossing.
It's pretty harvesty moony and Animal Crossing.
Does the performance on it feel good since you've been playing it? Because I got it day one digitally, and you would feel really bad frame drops at certain points, just all over the place.
I mean, I've had a couple isolated ones, but it's nothing terrible.
I'll probably start playing it again.
You said you got it on sale? Where? What?
Amazon, it was like 31, I think it was.
Oh, that's outside mine. Never mind.
It's called Yonder, right?
Yep.
Yes, Yonder,
the old game that they brought over.
Rax says he needs 250 subscribers in the chat.
I mean, there's 1,000 people here.
So it said no Rax. It immediately shut down.
James Lloyd with $1. Thanks. No message. Thanks though.
You use like 500,000.
People are having there are some very unqualified people setting off an alarming amount of fireworks outside right now.
Dude, it's like in like country-ish Central Valley, and people are like, yeehaw, just lighting off crap all
man,
for like the whole week. People have just been riding on horses and lighting crap off. It's horrible.
Mine was only for about 4 hours on 4th of July night, but it was basically all guns. People were just literally just. So I was like, I'm staying inside.
Hey Rax,
what's up?
I just saw your shelves. One, they're not Boeing.
Yeah.
Two, you have the original purple Game Boy. Do you have a green screen up right now? Are you in this room right now?
That's like over to my left.
You should have that as your backdrop right now, because that is majestic. You have a selection of GameCube games, a whole bunch of DSs.
That's not even like a quarter of my collection either.
The Advanced SP, hands down the best Game Boy ever.
Yep.
Fine, Rax, I'll sub to you.
I keep my stuff in this little
Thanks, Evan.
You have the box of the Steelbook Sun and Moon and the box of Steelbook Ultra Sun Ultra Moon.
Yeah.
That's commitment.
If only you saw the rest of my room.
Well, move your camera, dog.
Yeah, it's a mess, or else I would. Like, I'm talking like storage unit, a mess. Like, picture all that stuff that's organized, just stacked in boxes, like all over the place.
Let's move on. What have you been playing, OJ?
Been playing Paladins because that's been a lot of fun. Been really enjoying Paladins and Fortnite. I've been like Sean, been playing Fortnite as well. Been trying to get back a little bit into Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. Although my this morning actually my PSN got hacked and I actually had to fix that. Delay my
PSN
podcast.
got hacked.
Yeah, my PSN literally got hacked between 4 a.m. because I was watching Crunchyroll. Between 4 a.m. everything was fine, and 10 a.m. I got my ID's been changed, like my email. So someone hacked my account, changed it to where I can't log into my own account. Luckily for me. Like I said, I was playing Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, and I was watching Crunchyroll. So luckily for me, I don't have my PayPal on there. I don't have my credit cards on there. So there was nothing for them to do. But I had to get that taken care of. so that's what I've been doing. Yeah, so make sure your accounts are secure, guys. It's very easy to get your account hacked on PlayStation because my password was tough. It's not like an easy password, and it got hacked. So
you scam me, bro. I'm gonna check mine right now.
Yeah, well, just don't put credit. That's the reason why you guys ever go on Amazon and like. PSN cards are always the highest up there. Ever since 2011, man, everyone just said, nope, we're not dealing with PlayStation's. Ever since they got hacked and people's credit card information, all that got stolen, don't ever put your credit card information on PlayStation.
I definitely haven't done that.
The dude hacked from freaking 4 a.m. to 10. Somewhere between that time, he hacked it so easily, changed my ID to where I could have logged into my own PlayStation.
Oh, OJ, Mama Mercy in the super chat saying that she's glad to see PlayerEssence and Rax on tonight. Thank you, Mama Mercy. It's good to see you here tonight.
Mama Mercy's awesome. She's a member of my podcast, so definitely check her out.
She's the best.
There you go.
Well, you can sign into your Sony account on your computer, can't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how I just checked mine. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would just recommend taking off anything money wise, in my opinion. It's very easy for people. I mean, the dude hacked it within just hours and just switched, just completely switched it to where I couldn't even log into my account. And like I said, I was playing Final Fantasy. I was enjoying it. Everything was good. I swear, I went to sleep at 4 a.m. I woke up around 9:30. And then by 10, I got an email saying that my account was my account.
I don't even know my password for
this. Yeah, because it's automatically saved. Yeah, that's
why
I have it too. Yeah.
Just a little word out there. But hey, Final Fantasy 12: The Zodiac Age is awesome on the PS4. If you haven't picked it up yet, I think there's a sale. Been playing that. A lot of fun. Great game.
Have you beaten the Trials of 100?
Not yet.
Man.
Dude, it's broken, man.
Have you done the Nagelmeister auto leveling?
No,
I forgot the name. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Wait, which way? Because I always did the auto leveling where you give everybody reflect shields and get poisoned by those things over and over again, and you basically have those slugs that keep replicating at 1 health.
No, I'm talking about the once you make your way back into the Shrine of Miriam or whatever it is. After you beat it, you go down 1 floor. There's the save crystal, then you walk down the flight of stairs, you kill all the enemies in the room, you go out 2 areas, you come back in 2 areas, and then he's there and he resurrects zombies. So with the gambit of HP under 3,000, you attack them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just put the controller down. And then you pick it up a day later and you're level 100.
I have definitely did not do that. I rather just play the
game. There's a mine at one point where if you press a button, all these slimes come down.
Thulu mines.
Yeah, and that's what I just do and I just put on all mirror armor and just literally stand there with 2 shields so my guys can't attack, and they just reflect all day long, and they keep splitting. So yeah, same thing. Go to bed, wake up, level 100.
See, the reason you haven't done it, OJ, is because you haven't gone for the Genji armor yet.
I've just been playing.
Dreamcast knows what's up. You know what's up.
Yeah,
I've just been playing and enjoying the game.
Being serious enough, OJ.
I see NX Revolution in the super chat saying they just got here. They were asking about Warframe. We're going to talk about Warframe in a few minutes here after we get through what we've been playing. Let me check with Evan. What have you been playing, man?
All fight games. I'm trying to get all the footage I need for this fight stick. I did tons of stuff for it, and I'm waiting on the adapter for tomorrow because the first one I bought doesn't work for the stick. It works for the Hori fight pad, so that's kind of cool. But I do want to test it with BlazBlue on the Switch, so I gotta wait till tomorrow for that.
Which
you get a Cronus Max?
The mix box. It's hang on.
Is that the one with the red switches?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they reached out to me too.
Yep, it's really freaking good. And well, it depends. Okay, I'm gonna do a whole video on it, but basically,
you got a video coming up for it.
yeah, it's if you're used to keyboard and mouse, it definitely helps. Even if it's not for fighting games, if it's just for general stuff. But I'm gonna go heavily into it.
Yeah, I got sent over the Mayflash ones, and that one felt real nice for poking.
Yeah, that's a good. I didn't even think I forgot about Pokken. I always forget about that game.
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah,
except for Nintendo.
Yeah. What about Austin? What have you been playing, man?
You're gonna think I'm the biggest loser right now. So I'm a huge Fallout fan. I've just never ever talked about it on the channel because it's only Nintendo stuff. And then with the announcement of Fallout 76, I was like, great. I bought the power armor helmet. So excited for it. It's like the beta's coming out. I'm like, great. I already have my beta code. It's like it's coming out first for the Xbox. So I bought an Xbox One. And it included Game Pass and Xbox Live Gold, and then I'm not playing online, so I just activated the Game Pass, and I'm like, go to all games, and then on the first screen it was like Banjo-Kazooie, so that's what I'm playing. I'm playing Banjo-Kazooie, and I just 100%ed Banjo-Tooie, and now I'm going to be getting Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Is that why you ordered that figure?
Yeah, I mean, also Banjo has a special place in my heart.
Nice.
Banjo is so special in my heart that I bought Sea of Thieves.
Dang,
oh wow!
The front unit.
Bought it.
I gave them a try. Well, I bought it on PC before I had Game Pass and everything.
I'll say it's just Game Pass, man.
Yeah, Game Pass is legit.
Yeah,
I like Game Pass.
Well, they got a Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 on Game Pass. I've actually been playing Fallout 3. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah,
Game Pass.
I'm recording it right now because I'm doing a video about crazy DLC coming up here, and I wanted to talk about some of the stuff they did with Fallout 3. So.
Yeah, okay. I got the mini nuke that came with all of the Fallouts 4.
What about Rax? What have you been up to, man? We've been playing.
Well, I'm sure you'll never believe me, but I've been playing a lot of Castlevania.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
Yeah. So like after I picked up all those games at Too Many Games, so I've been playing like Dracula X because I never really got to like experience it on the actual hardware. So I've been playing a lot of that, trying to get through it. Symphony of the Night, and then speaking of Fallout, I actually been going back to my HTC, my Vive, and I've been playing Fallout in VR. So it's pretty much that, and just kind of waiting around for Spider-Man to come out.
Yeah, right. That's taking forever. That's taking so long to come out.
Yeah, just kind of playing things here and there just to kill time.
Real quick to Rax, did you play the new demo for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night? Did you get access to that?
Absolutely. Well, no, I watched your stream because I didn't get into the Bloodstained Kickstarter in time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching your stream, but at the same time I was backing out because I was I don't want to see too much.
Yeah,
but dude, it looks so beautiful. I love the art style. I like how it literally, just like you said when you were streaming it, it looks just like a new skin for Symphony of the Night. But I'm excited to play that, man. I'm very envious of you.
I know you were showing your Castlevania games. I'm a huge Castlevania fan myself, so yeah, I didn't know if you got into that or not. But yeah, I think back then though, you might have been a little bit too young to get into the Kickstarter, but back when because it came out 4 years ago. So
okay, OJ, he's our age.
Is he?
Yes, I didn't fucking. I was for over a year now, and just a couple months ago, I always thought he was 21, 22. He's like, motherfucker, I'm 30. I'm like, what? He's like, no, I'm 30.
That's why Rex is like.
So what if I still wear diapers? Huh? Come on, man.
Oh my God, you're 30, Rex? Wow.
Yeah, dude.
You look pretty great for 30, man.
Turning from the fountain of youth,
Thank
man.
you.
Wait, Rax, you're 30?
Yeah. I play a lot of Castlevania. I'm a vampire.
You do not look 30 in the slightest bit.
No. You have the most beautiful skin. Where do you live? Alaska?
Worse, Connecticut.
Yeah,
right. Also, the lack of beard doesn't help.
Yeah, I can't grow one.
Still, though, he does not look. I mean, not to say that 30 is old because it's not, obviously. But I honestly thought that you were like 21 and maybe 4 years ago, when the Kickstarter happened. Obviously, you're 16 or something like that, or 17.
Nah, I think the way that I act probably doesn't help either.
That's fine.
I'm a little immature.
Yeah, you're talking to Sean here.
Man. So I played a lot of Mario Tennis for the most part this past week.
Good review, by the way. I watched that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. I had fun with it. It's just I don't really have a lot to do with it now. I play online, but people figured out the broken character, the overpowered character in it. Yeah. So it's kind of, I don't know. There's not a lot to do. They keep dropping a character here and there, but even Evan, I'm sure you've probably moved on from the game now too.
Too much to do. And I already unlocked the character. You only need to play it once.
You only have to play one game.
Why do I have to go back?
Yeah, so I was hoping they would do more with the online where you get the points and you spend the points or you unlock more stuff, but not really, no. So then the single player was just okay.
We're talking about aces?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do Mario sports games. Give me a card or give me a party. I'm not gonna do golf or tennis or anything.
See, I'll play Mario Tennis. I love Mario Tennis a lot, and then Mario Strikers, but only the GameCube one. The Wii one wasn't that good.
No, none for me, man. The demo turned me off so hard at Mario Tennis.
Did you like the Wii Mario Strikers, OJ?
It hurt my hands. I thought it was, but did you ever play it to where if you played that, it actually sometimes would hurt my hands when I played on the Wii remote and nunchuck.
The thing I didn't like about that one was you could score 7 goals at once.
I wasn't a huge fan. I mean, I rented it and I was like, I'm good. I bought the one on the GameCube.
I like the GameCube one.
Yeah, a lot. I bought that one and played it, but the Wii one, I was like, oh, let me just rent it because people were kind of saying things even back then about it. The internet wasn't as developed back then, but people were still saying things. But I was just
Mario Baseball is supposed to be really good too, and I played that here and there, but I didn't get into that as much.
Sluggers?
Yeah, I heard it's supposed to be really good, and I played it some, but I didn't get into it like I did with tennis. And
I think it's because it's slower paced. I know they try to make it faster paced, but it's just not like Strikers is faster paced. Tennis, you're hitting back and forth. I mean, but basketball, basketball's not necessarily the slowest, but compared to tennis and compared to Strikers, it's probably a bit slower. So the basketball and the baseball don't work as good.
I feel like everybody probably likes Mario Golf at least a little bit. Not necessarily the newest one, but like
I love it on the GameCube.
Yes, there you go. There's the 64.
Yeah.
I love the 64 one a lot.
Mario Golf, I don't know, we're talking about paces. Like Mario Golf works for some reason. I think it works better than baseball.
Even on the Game Boy Color, it was really good.
Yeah, the Game Boy
Yeah.
Color.
Yeah, I think it seemed to always be moving. I think it gets you addicted to that. Whereas tennis, sometimes I feel like I'm just glued to the ground.
There was never a hockey game, right? It was just only a sports mix.
Yeah, there was
Sports mixed
sports
with hockey
mix
in there.
there.
Yeah, with the hockey in there.
And the Olympics with Mario, with Sonic.
Oh yeah,
I never played any of those.
that's an arcade now too. There's an arcade game of Mario Olympic Sonic. Whatever.
Well, there's a new one every 4 years based on whichever city they're in.
Yeah.
But I mean, Nintendo has done a lot with their games. Like Splatoon 2 has received a lot of content. ARMS has as well. So maybe Aces will over time. But that might be a game to look at like 6 months to a year from now, just to see if they update it at all and do more
True.
stuff with it. It could. And then I've just been working through Ys 8 as I get time.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'll keep working through it. Everybody keeps talking. All right, we'll talk about Warframe because everybody keeps asking about it. Even Leo just in the super chat even said Warframe was announced. Yes, Warframe was announced today at their. Basically, Warframe had their own like event. It seemed like they had their own Twitch stream that they did and everything, and they announced Warframe is going to the Switch, being done by Panic Button. Warframe is essentially an MMO RPG, right, Evan? It's like an action. I played it some on the PC way back when, before they did a full redesign and everything of it.
Mm-hmm.
I played it when it first showed up. I think I played it with you some, Evan. You were like, hey, check out this Warframe game. That was like 4 or 5 years ago.
That was a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And it was okay. It's it's an action RPG style game, but it's always online. So remember what you guys, I assume, remember when Destiny said that they couldn't bring it over because it was an always online game. Well, it seems like a lot of always online games are going to the Switch. That didn't seem like the best excuse now, but it is showing up at some point. We don't know when, but that appears to be either Panic Button's new port or one of Panic Button's ports. It's hard to say, but it is at least showing up, and it's going to be interesting when it comes out because we're going to want to see how it performs on the Switch. So that's going to be NX Revolution. Did we ever get a window for Yooka-Laylee physical on Switch?
They just announced it. It was a recent announcement for Yooka-Laylee.
Okay, for the physical one.
Isn't Limited Run doing it?
I thought so. I thought they announced it at their
E3, their E3 presentation. Yeah, I was watching it live. Yeah, they did announce it there. So
I thought it's later this year, right? It's like
it's this year. It's this year. I just don't know exactly when.
You're gonna NX Revolution. You're gonna keep an eye on limited run games. I think you can have I think you could subscribe to them, right? And they'll send you a message through email as to when it's ready to go. Just in general, like you just want to get on their email list.
Yeah, get on their mailing list, and
Yeah.
they send you stuff out all the time.
And they'll tell you ahead of time because when a lot of times when limited run game stuff hits, no matter what system it's on, people buy it up right away.
Well, they've actually sort of changed it for the Switch stuff now, where if it's the limited edition, yes, you're screwed. I was very lucky to get the limited edition of Night Trap because I overslept and didn't catch the morning one, but I caught it on the night one, which is funny because I don't even like Night Trap, but all the extra shit in it, the game sucks. All the extra shit in it I needed.
I do want to add, it's coming out in August, the physical edition.
Okay. But
oh wow, next month, cool.
What they do is like if you go on their website right now, limitedrungames.com, you can order both Ocean Horn and Night Trap regular editions on the Switch, and they just do it by pre-order. So however many pre-orders they get in, they distribute that many of the regular editions. So it's not as hard to get those.
That's good. That's good.
Because it used to be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I remember that. It was like they did Vita games a lot, and man, those Vita games, they were gone like that. Like seriously, a minute later, sold out. It was really frustrating.
I just watched the trailer for Warhammer. It reminds me of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Warhammer. Are you talking about Warframe?
Warframe.
So you've never you didn't play it either, then, Austin, right?
I did it.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. So this is gonna be interesting
Warframe,
because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people who have never heard of this game that just decide to try it out.
I mean, if it's free,
it is free.
Yeah, it's free.
This could be the big thing.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Is this a fork knife? Is this a fork knife trap?
Did you say fork knife?
Yeah, because that's what kids call fork
I am very old apparently. I've never heard of that before.
There are there is microtransactions galore within Warframe, but it is not pay to win at all.
It's pay for patience, though.
Yeah, pay for patience.
A big thing.
So, and there's like a lot of quests and stuff, and some quests you end up having to like basically upgrade your account if you want to do them more than like twice in a day and stuff. The biggest thing about the Warframe community, which is why I think it is going to explode on Switch, is that the Warframe community is extremely kind. They love teaching new players. They love showing people how everything works. Like, so I think that when this gets on there, since the Nintendo community in general is actually pretty friendly, I think it's going to be freaking fish to water. I think it's going to meld perfectly.
I don't know if I'm able to play a game without getting screamed at by a stranger.
Yeah. Well, they'll scream at you for doing so good, like you leveled up, bitch.
Here's free stuff. Yeah.
So pick up these items.
So they're the kind of people that'll help you out right away. They'll throw you money. They'll throw you like what in-game currency to help you out. They'll throw you new armor. And
they can throw you what they can. There's a limit to what you can get in the game. They can't really trade you certain aspects of crafting material and stuff. You still have to grind that out because the game wants you to grind. It wants you playing perpetually doing that.
What they do a lot of times is help you grind. A lot of times a higher level, more geared player can take you through like a lesser area, like really quickly to level you up.
Oh, cool.
I want to add that like I was watching this game a lot after all the revamps. I watched a guy called Professor Broman, who's a big Twitch streamer, and it looked cool. Like I was just watching him play. I mean, just because I wasn't gonna play it. I have it downloaded, but like I just wasn't gonna play. I didn't know anybody to play or anything. But I've been watching it. I watched him play, and it always looked awesome. So I'm really happy that it's coming over to the Switch. And now, I mean, I have a community at this point now. You know, I have more of a community than I did back then when I was watching him play through all of it. So I know we're really gonna get into it. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you already call yourselves the Ninja Village, which that's the premise of the game anyway.
Exactly. I love the designs of it. Exactly. So I was like, yo, we're definitely gonna get down to this once it comes out on the Switch. I mean, I would think that it's gonna be coming out sometime this year.
It's already on the eShop. Like it's on it now. You can search for it. You just can't download it or anything. But they already have the listing up. Wow, that was quick. All right, and they must have had that ready to go. Like a Switch pretty much ready to go. Right there. So even Leo pointed it out because Evan, you talked about Arena of Valor and now Warframe, two free to play games. Obviously, Warframe's pretty popular. Arena of Valor is popular in China essentially, but it's interesting how many free to play games they're pulling in that are popular. Fortnite, of course. Now these. Paladins,
Pokemon Quest.
I was going to talk about that a little bit here, Austin, because that's actually they put some numbers out for that. A lot of people have actually downloaded that game.
7.5 million.
Here's Chris in the super chat actually saying, "Love watching Spawncast weekly. You each are an inspiration." That's actually very kind of you to say, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you, man, Chris.
Yes. So Pokemon Quest is another free to play game that also it went on mobile pretty recently.
Yeah, about a little over a week and a half ago.
I had the number up on my screen earlier, and I think I closed it, but I think it was like
5.7.
No, 7.5.
7.5. Yeah. 7.5 million people have downloaded that game.
Between iOS, Android, and Switch.
Yes, and that's actually I think more popular than people were expecting. I feel like that game showed up, and it was really popular there, and then it kind of fell off a bit. But I don't think people realized how many people have actually downloaded that game. So. I would have loved to seen the split to see what was on Switch and what was on iOS and everything, but it seems like the audience on the Switch right now is very interested in some of these free to play games.
I hate it on mobile. I'm loving it on Switch.
Really? Okay, so the thing about that game is when I play it on my Switch, I realize it feels like it's designed for mobile, but you're saying it's a better experience on the Switch.
Well, you can use your thumbs and hit all six of the attacks. But if you just use L and R, X and Y, or A, B, whichever it is, like you could just fly through commands because we're gamers. We can control this combination faster than, okay, let me identify where this guy is and then which button I need to hit. Because like it's not like they're physical buttons that you just know what those 6 attacks are.
Mm-hmm. Right. I guess that's a good point. You think I guess it's on tablets. You think it'd be any better on a tablet? I don't know because the Switch. I guess you could technically play it like a tablet on the Switch, right? Without the Joy-Con. Does that work?
I did. Yeah, I messed with it a little bit. I mean, I like it on Switch. I didn't install it on phones, and I only played it for like 3 days on my Switch. But I'll be honest, I had more fun than I probably thought I was gonna have.
I'll agree. I played it that day that it launched, and I was like, this is probably, I mean, I hate the art style, but like I thought it was
this is their Fallout shelter.
Yeah.
I don't like the art style, but the game was. I mean, it's a free game, so I'm not going to complain much. You know, it's a free game that you play. It's cool. I mean, got some Pokemon there.
It's not really a free game. Either you have a ton of patience, or you spend $30 day one.
Well, if you got patience, it's free.
Keelan, thanks for $2. I see you there. I'm going to actually read that out in a bit when we talk about some of those topics, but I see you there. Thanks. I will go through some of the super chats a little later on just to keep everything on track here. So it seems like the free-to-play library is starting up, and it doesn't seem like the online-only effect is an issue. As we kind of heard, I'm sure I thought I saw you talk about that on Twitter as well, OJ, about Destiny.
Yeah, so. I made a video months and months and months ago when the Destiny. I said, "Dude, you think we're dumb?" That was the title of my video. It was like the Destiny 2 developers think Switch owners are stupid, because I knew that they were saying some stupidity back then. I had people, of course, saying, "Oh, what are you talking about? Power and all this." I'm like, okay. When it starts coming out, when we start getting more free to play games, because I already know, like Dragon Quest was already on this, like it was already on the Switch. At the time, so I was like, no, it's not impossible for free-to-play games. So I knew they were being stupid back then, So it didn't trick me, basically. What they were saying, it was crap. It was crap from the beginning.
I'll admit, I bought it completely. I'll admit that I bought what they said because at the time, I did not believe that online-only games would take off like this. I guess at the time, I thought that most Switch owners wanted to just plug in the experience, play it to completion, go to the next game, but no, it seems like a lot of people are actually playing their Switches at home and just treating it like a normal home console. I mean, the crazy success of Fortnite is just really kind of proving that anything will work on the Switch.
Yeah, it was like 2 million downloads in the first 24 hours.
Yeah. God dang. So the fact that Destiny's not on there now shows that Bungie is screwing up.
So I think Warframe will actually find a fan base that I don't think's played the game yet.
It should be really good for them too, because I played Warframe from way back when they only had like 2 tile sets and 2 game modes and 5 suits total. And they've added chunks of story, massive elements of gameplay.
Did you see the stuff today? They were showing like space battles and stuff. It was
great. Well, they had those battles earlier, but now they're gonna have, I think, co-op ship interaction, which is new, as well as a new open world, because they also added an open world around the time Destiny came out as sort of like we're online and we also have an open world like Destiny.
It seems like they're kind of pushing Destiny around right now with what they're introducing.
They're trying. I mean, there's elements to it that there's a level of grind where once you get past a certain point in the game, you're going to realize what the game is, and you're probably just going to like stop or taper off your play of it. But up till that point, it can be really fun.
How many hours would you say up to that point would be?
It depends on how many suits you want. I know at least with my Loki suit that I went with, it was about 80 or 90 hours before I was finally like, I want to stop.
I got another question too. Sorry. What would be like, let's say you want to pay, like, is there like a starter pack? Is there something that people can just pay and get a good enough amount to where they're happy?
There are no. Not till you're happy. Okay, one of the major elements to the game is you can't use things in it unless you're at a certain mastery level, and you can only get a mastery level based on how many things in the game you've leveled the full. That's weapons, animals, suits, all of it. So those give you points towards your masteries. I think I have maybe 50 to 60 weapons fully maxed out and like 20 suits, and I'm only mastery level 12 or 13. And that's not a lot. There's still a couple levels above me before I can use certain things and weapons and stuff. But there's elements to it where, depending on time of day, which was also an issue, there's like a suit called the Vauban, and you can only get parts for it at certain points in time of the day when there's missions up for it, and you have to get all 3 parts, and they don't necessarily tell you when they drop. There's just all these little things about it that it's a little irksome at first, but you can kind of get around it. I just remember having to give my friend my account info so he could get it while I was at work.
But it's PvP as well, or is it mostly?
It is PvP, but I don't know if people respect the PvP in that game due to the freedom of motion, due to like how the abilities work.
How many people can be in a party together though?
I think it's 4 for regular and 8 for raid, and I think there's only 1 or 2 raids right now. I think 1.
Yeah, because there's co-op in the game, so that's cool.
That's gonna be interesting if you get 8 people together on like their Switches in the same like room playing. That could be interesting. That's the thing about the Switch is it kind of changes the dynamic of a LAN party. Whereas back in the day, we tried to play Bad Company 2 on our PCs, and it was a pain to get those set up.
I love Bad Company 2.
Halo 1 back in the day, we used to have Halo 1 parties, and it was a huge ordeal. You could only do it every couple months. You had to set up all this hardware to connect and basically create a private server. It was such a
we did that every day back in the summertime.
I did that every weekend. It was Halo 2 at OJ's. When my mom was a nurse, she would go to work at night.
That's funny, dude. Where we did it, my friend's mom was a flight attendant, and when she'd disappear for the weekend, we'd like, all right, she's out of town. Everybody set up this server.
Yeah, man. Halo 2 at OJ. So we bring all the CRT old school TV.
Oh man.
I still have
it must have been a pain to tote those around.
Yeah, it was, but we did. It was worth it. It was Halo. It's Halo here, guys. It's Halo 1 here on the Xbox.
It was life.
So,
yeah.
Do we want to move on to some of these topics here before we have some questions, right, Evan? We have questions in Discord. Is there any you can throw in now before we move on to one of these topics?
I mean, we were talking about Pokemon for a little bit there, and so I guess Dekugo asked, "Are the outraged fans for games like Fallout 76 and Pokemon Let's Go good or bad for the franchises?"
Oh, that's a good one that is like dead on for Austin, isn't it? They just asked about Pokemon and Fallout in the same sentence.
Yeah. So, from a business standpoint, Let's Go makes so much sense. I'm sure everyone here completely understands why.
Because it links with Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Convert Pokemon Go people to main series RPG people.
Well, there's 800 million people over there. You have to.
Well,
exactly.
And the accidental side effect is almost everybody I know in real life now. Everybody has reinstalled Pokemon Go and is playing it again and is buying instances and stuff.
That.
Oh, the sales and the downloads for Pokemon Go since E3 have shot up like tenfold.
Yeah, exactly. Because everyone's trying to like, I'll train before Let's Go.
And also, they knew that a lot of people would not be happy about that. So they, during that same presentation, said 8th gen is coming next year. The main core RPG game that we all told you is coming next year, which is great. That is what we want. Also, there was one very small detail, and I sure as shit don't remember exactly where I heard it, but they said, this is not going to be the hold your hand, we're going to show you how to catch a Pokemon 8th gen. Like, we assume how Pokemon works.
I saw that interview too, and I think their phrasing was something like, we heard your critique of Sun and Moon having too big of an intro. So this, like, the next 8th gen is just going to basically be like your next Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's just a roguelike. You appeared if the Pokemon
exactly.
fight, start again.
You saw what they did with Breath of the Wild. You saw what they did with Mario Odyssey. They had years working on that, and guess what? They've been having years for 8th gen, and now I'm just excited that they have this extra year to work on this, to go through all the different plot points on how they want to discover it. If they do want to make it open world, everything that every PokeTuber has been just diarrhea of the mouthing. Oh, what if? Oh, they could do this. Guess what? Now they actually can. Because if it was released this year, I would say there's a very slim chance on that game being that.
I got destroyed for saying what you just. I literally almost had a coup by just saying what you just said on my channel. I'll just say that right now. I almost had a coup when I just said.
OJ, stop saying that.
Let me ask you also, what do you think the odds of them having a 2 different types of Pokemon games so they can switch off every other year so they get that extra year? You think they have like a Let's Go game one year and then the main line?
You said that, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
There is insanely high probability because if you consider the Pokemon Go app actually has the next generations and they can just slowly up that.
Well, in Quest, there is code for all 808 Pokemon. Right, 107, including the undiscovered ones. So, like, the infrastructure of getting everything else in that is already there. Would they do that with Let's Go? Maybe. I don't think so.
What would be the next 2 Pokemon on the front then? If they have Eevee and Pikachu now, who would they go with?
We're talking about 2nd gen. 2nd gen didn't have the starters on the cover.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. They had the legendaries.
Yeah, and then they had Suicune, but they never had NT or Raikou.
You think they just throw some legendaries on there, or you think they pull? I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Well,
I'd buy a Cyndaquil version. I'd buy a Cyndaquil version in a second.
I mean, Cyndaquil is the best, unless you're going to do Chikorita egg moves, but you're probably not. I mean, they could do that, but like, before anything, they're gonna see how well this does.
Yeah.
If it doesn't do well, think of Hey You Pikachu. Remember that game where you talk into the microphone on the N64?
It's a good game.
I think I have a copy of that in my store.
Yeah.
And then
they gotta watch the sales. You're right.
For Fallout 76, Bethesda wanted to do a multiplayer before they released Fallout 4. I'm sure we've all seen the documentary by
No Clip.
Thank you. The No Clip documentary, which was amazing. I'm sure we can all agree that was fantastic. Yeah. And they just blurted out all this information. They were working on it beforehand, but then they also have all the main RPG games going forward. And like, you never know how the world is going to react to a game until it's actually out. And if it does great, we may see more of that. If it doesn't do great, then it's not going to happen. God Howard said it himself. We keep releasing Skyrim. We keep releasing Skyrim on different platforms because you keep buying it. You don't want us to release it anymore? Stop buying it.
And everyone keeps buying it.
And keep playing. Man. He said millions play it each month. So retention too. He said millions are also continuing to play the game. So
I can't believe that. Are they releasing another expansion for it or anything? Like,
nope,
dude, I'd buy it. I'd buy it right now.
There have been no expansions since the original game, and then it's just been, let's take all the expansions, bundle it together, release it everywhere. The only difference is the Switch got the Champion's Tunic and the Master Sword and the Hylian Shield. And I'm pretty sure that was like beginning of game stuff.
Yeah, you can get at the very beginning.
It's just weird that you figure they just throw a little expansion out, collect a nice little $1 million, dollar paycheck from it.
I was thinking about, they did that with Doom 2 recently. John Romero randomly released a completely new map for it 20 years later, just for the heck of it.
I want to say Jay Peterson in the Super Chat says, great panel. Thank you, Jay Peterson. We try. Very good, very good. So that was our
can I hide a Super Chat?
Or like cringe Howard. What's that?
Can I hide a Super Chat?
Yeah, I'm deleting that Super Chat. God Howard is always God Howard.
I mean, like, also think what you want about the games. Like, his stage presence, fantastic.
He's very natural on stage. Yes.
Yeah, he is now. Have you ever watched the old stuff from like the late 90s and early 2000s? He was real cringy. Like, everybody used to beat me up in high school because I talked about video games, and now I make video games. It's a real quote from him. It's like, oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Man.
I mean,
that's great.
Everyone used to beat me up in school because I played Pokemon, and now I have 450,000 subscribers.
Bam, 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 bam. Okay, I gotta stop doing the air horn noise. But yeah,
no, you can do it. Just make it more enthusiastic.
See, I went to yeah, I was weird, man.
That's the important part.
My high school, the jocks, we all played video games, so it was a good.
Yeah, the nerds, like I hung out with the basketball dudes, even though I'm short, I'm like 5'9", but I hung out with all the basketball dudes, and yeah, we all play video games. They all knew it. But people just called me nerd. They called us nerds, but we were still cool because we played sports, So.
I know a thing where my high school was actually studied because we had no bullies, none whatsoever. So even though we were the geek kids and like kind of ostracized for that, nobody ever got beat up. Nobody ever got shoved in lockers. Nobody knocked the textbook out of your hands. I literally could walk around being like, hey guys, I'm reading the Halo books. And people would be like, shut up, whatever.
I did a lot of drugs in high school. No, that was pretty much it.
Nice.
No one is surprised. He had that jersey in high school too.
Let's go through some of these topics here. Retro Studios. You guys heard about the weird Glassdoor review. People got a little crazy with it, a little out there. Yeah. But we haven't actually really heard much from them other than them showing us that they can cook barbecue and cook ribs and stuff. What are your guys' thoughts about Retro Studios right now? And are there any actual concerns just in the panel right now with what's going on right now with them, which is seemingly nothing, or at least them cooking?
I'd say my concern is only at the silence, which is just, which I feel like is a very mild concern. Like, I just want to see what they're working on so badly. I really don't give any credence to the complaints, though. Sure.
Yeah. Like, it's been, a lot of people check those out, and anyone can leave them, but even if they were true, could be disgruntled employee or something, and we did hear from I think it was Eurogamer. It said that they did have something canceled. A project was canceled, and honestly, if that was true, it's very. I mean, let's just pretend like it was. That person could have been on that team that maybe they didn't need them anymore after canceling that project. It's possible.
I'll agree that they are mismanaged. I think that when you have a team and they make 2 new games in 10 years, there's a problem.
Yeah.
And 2 platforms
yeah.
in 10 years. Not like 2 big, huge, like Metroid type 2 Donkey Kong games in 10 years. And they've ported
God of Wars.
Yeah, they've ported Tropical Freeze and they've ported Metroid Prime Trilogy. That's what they've done in the past 10 years is that. So I do think that they're mismanaged, but I don't think that they're going to be close. I mean, that the people that make like Wave Race and all like they're technically
Nintendo doesn't really close studios.
Yeah, they don't really they can downsize them. They can, I mean, they might scatter them, but they're not going to just shut them down like that. They're not. I think it was disgruntled employee. I mean, I thought the same stuff, from my last employer that got rid of me. I thought the same stuff that I wanted to write down, but I didn't. But when you're sometimes you might be, like I said, disgruntled, you might write whatever you feel like writing, even if it's a good place to work, or even you might be something might have happened or whatever the case is.
Ben in the North says Metroid Prime Trilogy on Switch before 4. There's a lot of people speculating that that could be a port that Retro might be working on right now alongside some other stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't really follow Metroid all that much. I mean, I personally love Donkey Kong, but I just looked up their wiki real quick, their list of games and when they were released. They had 2 GameCube games 2 years apart, and then 3 years later they had their first Wii, and then 2 years later their second Wii game. Then the next year their third Wii game, and then the next year the 3DS and the 3DS, and then the Wii U. I mean, it makes sense that you're not going to be a busy studio when you're making games for a failing system.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think anyone's surprised that they only made 1 Wii U game, and then that got ported to the Switch.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there has to be something going on. Like it shouldn't. I feel like it shouldn't take that studio that long to make these games. But
when a studio, when a platform isn't doing well, especially a Nintendo-owned thing, they're like you said, they'll probably downsize a little bit, and then you just don't have the manpower. And then secretly in the background, they've been working on the new Metroid game.
The funny thing is they've been hiring too, though. So that's another reason why I didn't.
Yeah, we pointed that. Yeah. People started pointing that out for what was it like? It was like cinematography or like it was stuff that had to do with like cinematics, I thought, or something.
Yeah, so they've been hiring a single player narrative or
story. Yeah, with storyboard stuff and everything. Yeah.
Oh, when did they start hiring?
They've been throughout the years. There's just been multiple reports.
Yeah,
for like 2 years now
or something.
Yeah, like each year there's like Retro Studios is hiring because anybody just wants any news on Retro, so they'll even report when they're hiring.
Yeah, maybe it's just to the point that they are under management that's just so picky for what they want that they keep going through the same idea over and over. It becomes this perpetual cycle of just them not being happy and the game never happens.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it before. I've heard stuff like that internally at Square Enix lots of times in the past where Square Enix has tried to work on something and they hire a bunch of people on a team and they build a prototype and the prototype doesn't work and they just lay off the entire team and then recycle some of those ideas.
Square is one of the most mismanaged
Final
Fantasy I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, and that's my thing. Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game of all time, literally. So when I hear about them just having so much trouble with the remake and possibly having to start over, it's just
Rax, what do you think about Retro Studios, Rax?
I mean, in all honesty, like I was looking at some of their stuff earlier, like checking out the Glassdoor reviews and stuff, and just seeing what I could find out about what exactly might be going on. I personally don't think that it's so much a problem with disgruntled employees. It's hard to say what's going on because they might just have like some problems going on internally due to, like you were saying before, like just projects shifting around or just maybe not enough projects going on.
Yeah, so we know about apparently the Star Fox Racer. It sounds like that's happening based on what everyone's saying. It's
sometimes people just get up in arms and just like start.
I feel like they have been they couldn't have been working on the Star Fox Racer for 5 years, could they have? That's a long time to work on this.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to come out on the PlayStation 12.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Brett said, yeah.
I'm still just saying they would do themselves a world of good if they just gave us a demo. They gave us a Final Fantasy 15 demo years before it came out, which was hardly even reflective of the final product.
It changed a lot. Yeah.
That demo was hot trash, dude. That first demo.
Well, I actually enjoyed the demo for what it was, but you could tell that it was very different at that point. Like even Noctis's behavior, clearly Noctis was going to be like the sleepy, like lethargic protagonist. And in the final game, he's like, "Come on, guys, friendship is the answer." It's like, oh man, y'all guys literally remade everything, even after that demo.
I think the graphics made the demo better, but like the controls and how for me at least. I mean, I thought it was okay, but like the game looked so good. It was just so, oh my gosh, look at new Final Fantasy is finally here. So I think that's also what made me.
I could be a little bit biased. Obviously, I'm obsessed with Final Fantasy. Obsessed. So if they even give me a bad demo, I'm like, ooh, every morsel.
Compare like the Royal Edition, how it is now to the demo.
Right? Yeah, that's like
night and day.
I went through the Royal Edition recently to do all the new bosses, including like Omega Weapon and all the DLCs again. And it's one of those things where playing that now and being able to switch between characters and everything, it's like, this is what we were supposed to have. Like, let's face it, from day one, this is what we were supposed to have.
But just the smoothness and everything is just so much better than that demo was just not reflective of the final product.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think that Retro's project, we assume is Star Fox, gets revealed before the end of this year? So it'll be a 2018 reveal, or do you think it's a 2019 reveal?
I say 2019. I honestly don't think they're going to show much the rest of this year. I know Nintendo's saying we have more to show. I think it's going to be tiny little indies, though. I don't believe that they're going to.
Well, I mean, they showed Wolfenstein and Doom last September.
Yeah, but those were big ports. I don't think that they're going to bring out a big new project this late in the year. That's just my personal belief.
Well, there's two they haven't announced that I know of, and one of them is actually going to sell well. I'll say that, and it's going to be shown in that fall presser.
Is it Fallout 4 for the Switch?
It's not Fallout 4.
Are you talking third or first party here, John?
One's a first party.
Oh, okay. I think I know the game.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
Is it Luigi's Mansion?
It is not Luigi's Mansion. I wish it was Luigi's Mansion.
No, I
wish it was.
I wish it was Luigi's Mansion.
Is it Glover?
You know what? Did you guys see that did you see that whole thing around Glover, by the way? What was it, a month or two ago?
I did.
That was crazy. The people were trying to bring back a new Glover.
I mean, Glover was a great game.
I got very far.
There was a lot of way more drama behind that than you'd think. So okay, Max, you don't think there's gonna be much more shown later this year going forward, right? We're gonna know about Mario Party, Smash, Pokemon.
That's my it just seems like, to me, and you guys may all disagree and write videos about how dumb I am, but it seems like they're really loading up the shotgun for 2019. But I definitely think the rest of 2018 is going to be real sparse other than what we've been shown. I'll be happily wrong. If something major comes out, I'm definitely going to be first in line to buy it. But it definitely, from everything I'm seeing, it definitely seems like that this is it, for good or for better or for worse.
There's definitely going to be more than what they've shown. Warframe just came out of nowhere.
That sounds fun and great, yes, but I'm saying until Nintendo says so, happy words don't mean anything to me. Like I'm waiting to see it.
Okay.
I mean, as far as Nintendo goes, like they have Smash. They have the GameCube's answer to Smash.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of big.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And I've been saying that that's going to sell. I'm just saying that I think what we've seen is what's it.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious to see if they would reveal something like that Star Fox game during that fall presser, just to see. But I keep hearing there are third-party projects too. But I would like to see Star Fox revealed this year. But honestly, that could fall to next E3. That'd be crazy. That'd be insane. If Retro, I would hope Retro at least makes it into next year's E3. But I do think it'd be cool if they announced Prime Trilogy during the fall presser. I think that'd be really cool. They're direct. That way, at least then Retro would at least be somewhat, back. Although they did port Tropical Freeze, so there's that. What do you think, Sean? Do you think Retro's project gets shown?
Yeah, it depends what it is, honestly. I think if it's the Star Fox Racer, maybe. I could see something like Metroid Prime Trilogy HD or whatever the fuck they're gonna call it releasing this year, though. I'm kind of. Ooh, I just spit bread on me. I'm kind of with Max. It's kind of. as far as stuff that, you know, I don't think necessarily Nintendo's going to show like a brand new 2019, but I do think that there's potential for things like Metroid Prime Trilogy or smaller games to come out from Nintendo in 2018 still. So.
Yeah, quick. Majestic asked very quickly what our thoughts were on Warframe. We like it, and we're interested to see how it does, but we like that the free-to-play games are showing up because a lot of people on the Switch seem to like them. Go on, Max.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's what I think too. Is I think we'll get cool small stuff, maybe one more big shocking Wii U port. But I can't imagine. I feel like they're right now. Nintendo is going quiet on purpose. They're trying to gear everything up for 2019, which is not a bad tactic. Occasionally, like we've seen, Sony did that a couple of years ago. Sony went real quiet, and everybody was like, "What are you guys doing?" And then they came out the next year and said, "This has God of War, eat our ass," and it worked.
I don't know. I just think that Nintendo doesn't announce stuff for like years and years. I mean, at least with the Wii U, they tried to do that and it backfired. With the Switch, they've been announcing things as it's coming along. They got Smash, they got Pokemon for this year, they got Starlink, they got all these different games that are coming out, Dragon Ball, whatever, all this stuff. And then 2019, they've already talked about, I mean, Yoshi's going to be 2019. They might announce Animal Crossing. That could be like Animal Crossing announced at like the Game Awards or like
Animal Crossing's bigger than a lot of people realize when it comes to sales.
So. Yeah, people don't realize how big it is, but it is. Yeah. It's pretty.
Did somebody last podcast, didn't y'all have the numbers for New Leaf? And it was something
like 11 million. It's like 11 million.
11 million. That's nuts, man.
Yeah. So just on the 3DS.
They could announce that like at the Game Awards, or they can announce again like they did like with Bayonetta, right? Where they announced it at the Game Awards. They're probably gonna have a fall direct. That fall direct had a ton of third-party games put in there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some more shocking like Warframe announcements later in the year.
What I mean, they could put. I'm looking at. I feel like they could fit Animal Crossing. They could fit Fire Emblem and one more game I was just thinking of off the top of my head into this fiscal year coming up. Before we get to April.
Yoshi.
Yoshi, that's what it was. Yoshi. Yeah, I see a January, February, March release out of those three. Honestly, just to get it all done. Because they're looking at their fiscal year. You know.
Yeah.
So that's how I could see it. Darius says, will Octopath outsell Captain Toad by a wide margin?
Yes, humongous margin.
The Captain Toad's gonna be $40 though.
It's $40 for Captain Toad.
I didn't even know that until I just saw it on Amazon. I haven't pulled it up.
I feel like Octopath will outsell it. I don't know about a wide margin, only because actually, you know what, in actual revenue, probably, yeah, because it's 40 versus 60.
I never played the Wii U one, and then they announced the 3DS one, and the fact that a Switch one was happening was just not obvious to me. And like, it's a game that I always wanted to try, but then I would have to blow the dust off of my Wii U. So like, I'm kind of excited for it. Also,
I bought it.
Yeah, it's legit fun.
There's a demo already?
Yeah, you can go play right now.
I'm going to download right now. Also, pulled up the numbers. Animal Crossing has 2 games that have sold over 10 million, and the franchise as a whole is at 32 million. And for reference, Metroid as a franchise is at 16 million.
God dang! Whoa! Well, that frames
with
it.
Double the amount of games.
You just got $60, by the way.
Yeah, I just saw that. And they didn't leave a message though. That was from Just Hanzo. Dropped 50 euros in.
Which
but
is like
no message.
It's like $59 US.
Well, I just want to say,
Hanzo, he has nothing in the chat anywhere.
My boy Hanzo likes YouTube too, though. I mean, you know, just saying Hanzo, but appreciate that.
Just Hanzo, thank you. No message though. If you want to just put something in the chat, maybe you didn't type the message or anything. We can read it out and everything. If you want to put a message in there, man. But thank you very much. It's very appreciated. That's euros. Okay, euros. I always get mixed up with the currency. I think it's like this. I think it's the Swedish crowns that really mess me up sometimes. So I miss those a lot. But thank you very much there, Just Hanzo. We appreciate it. What were we even talking about just now?
Captain Toad.
Captain Toad. There is a demo.
I bought Captain Toad. I did not buy Octopath yet. So, I mean, Captain Toad obviously is in the lead right now.
Fun fact, did you know that when they were trying to explain Captain Toad to their bosses at Nintendo, they didn't really understand it. They were like, we want to make mini games where you're actually going to go around and solve puzzles. And their bosses thought they were talking about a board game. They're like, no. Like, it's going to be like a 3-dimensional game, but a puzzler. You won't have jump, but you'll wander around as Toad and try and get through levels. And apparently the bosses were like, board game? Like, no, a physical. Just let me make it.
Captain Toad is really fun though. It's a fun game. Honestly, it's not even full price, $40. I think the demo, Austin, is like the first 3 levels.
I just downloaded it already.
Yeah, it's pretty fun actually, and it visually looks good. Apparently, the 3DS version, from a technical standpoint, is like the version. Apparently, it's really cool, but obviously, the Switch is going to look a lot better. So, Art Attack said sub for every one of you guys. You're my favorite YouTubers. Glad you guys are friends. Thank you, Art Attack.
Plus, thank you, man.
I consider you guys friends.
Yeah, I'd seriously hang out with you guys in a heartbeat. So
I don't have any actual friends here with me, so definitely you guys are more of my friends than anybody else.
That's kind of sad.
I mean,
Hey, all my friends don't like video games. They think what I do is weird. I've literally been called a weirdo by some of my friends
That's
in person.
That's the way I am too. That's why I just do all whatever my friends are all into movies and books, so I just go do movie book stuff with them, and then work is video games.
well, I wanted to say the 3DS version does not have the Super Mario Odyssey levels in there.
There you go. Let's see. We're going to have to move some of Evan, do we have a question out of Discord? Because we got to start moving a little quicker to get through these topics by 11.
All right, we got Dragon King 4269. Will Nintendo do a Game Pass like Xbox? This is kind of a throwback question we've answered a couple times, but where's everyone standing now?
I would like them to, but Nintendo values their IPs more than Sony even does. So I don't think they will. I would love it, and I would buy in right away, but I don't think they would.
I feel like if it exists, it would be only for the retro games, honestly.
Yeah, I would think they would do it, but for a limited amount of the retro games.
I mean, that's kind of what they're doing with their online service. Kinda. It's just it's part of their online service. We're talking about a separate thing from that, and it's just like a larger collection.
Yeah. I doubt that, definitely.
Do you think, and this is something I'm literally making up on the spot right here, do you think that they'd ever try and do something that's sort of Game Passy, but there's just like a game that's free for a month? So there's like one game that's free each month when you're subscribed to the online service that makes it where, hey, congratulations, this month Captain Toad is free.
So like the games with gold?
Kinda? Yeah, games with gold, but they're only free for that 1 month, and then they stop being in your library.
That was their original plan, right?
Yeah, that was. Really? Yeah, you're right.
When they first announced
older stuff,
the paid online service, they said, "Oh, for 1 month, you're gonna get like Mario Bros for the NES, except with online playability for that month, and then if you love it, you can purchase it."
Oh yeah. Well, I'm still, if they did that again, I'd be down with that. I mean, if you still want to play a game after playing it for a whole month, you have that option.
But if they did that with GoldenEye 64, that's a game changer.
That's right.
That's a game changer.
Freddie in the chat noticed the Sony headphones now. It's because my Steel Series 1's broke.
So how did you break those? There's usually metal in them.
It's plastic. It's just plastic.
Oh, yeah, it's crappy.
Yeah, it's broke on the side. So I got some nice new Sonys.
Those monitors that you're wearing, those Sony monitors, those are industry standard for movie sets.
Oh, yeah?
Those are some of the flattest sounding monitors that you can get. So you hear things how they actually sound. So like if you do your EQ and how you want your stuff to sound on those headphones, it'll sound better everywhere.
Well, I just bought them because they look like they would be okay. So
Sony headphones on the market.
I have there was one donation here that slipped through. I see it here from Steven Garner. It says crazy thought. Oh, this is for OJ. Hollow Knight for Smash. What were the odds, OJ, of a Hollow Knight entering Smash?
It's literally 0%.
Okay.
I would say Shovel Knight. I would say Shovel Knight before Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
Hollow Knight's a fantastic game. I will say that, but I do know there is a process to getting into Smash. At least there are requirements, and OJ knows that fairly well.
Be a trophy first, or at least it's either Japanese icon or trophy. But the problem, like I said before, is that Sakurai, he's just not going to put like just random indie game here. Like Hollow Knight, it's a what was it, a Kickstarter game? It's the first game. How is Hollow Knight going to get in there like above Shovel Knight, who has Amiibo, who has exclusive Nintendo content beforehand? I mean, it's just
Master Chief will be in there first.
Simon Belmont for Smash.
Or get your dad to call. That's how Snake happened.
Let me okay, so more than likely Hollow Knight's not going to be on the list compared to some others. Okay. Let me ask you this. This is from Bushin Ryukat. This is about Mass Effect, because I know this hits home for OJ a bit here. They're asking if EA should sell Mass Effect to Bethesda, or if you think EA BioWare can save it.
They should definitely sell it for if Bethesda the right asking price, right? If Bethesda was going to give them a king's ransom or whatever for it, I would definitely say, I don't think I don't think they need Mass Effect. But I'm not saying that just because I hate EA. I do hate EA, but I'm not saying that. I'm just I do hate EA, but I'm seeing it as a Epic and Microsoft type of deal with Gears of War. Does Epic really need Gears of War anymore? Not really. They don't really need it.
Yeah, right.
Do they need it? No, not really. And they can sell it to somebody who wants it. I think Bethesda would want Mass Effect if they can get their hands on it, and they can make a better Mass Effect than EA can at this point. I think it's the fans and everything. It's just too much damage has been done. Mass Effect fans don't trust EA. There's too much damage there.
So many Mass Effect fans, and I've seen tons of people talk about this lately. Mass Effect fans are afraid that EA has just killed Mass Effect, that they're just that one bad game sold it and they've just murdered it out back and they're never going to talk about it. So I think they would be thrilled if they sold it. They could sell it to anybody at this point and they'd probably be happy because it means they're getting another game.
I think it needs to be. I mean, I would like for it to be sold, and I don't think EA can repair the damage that's been done. This is way worse than God of War Ascension. This is way worse than what we've seen before. Mass Effect Andromeda was a complete and utter failure on almost every single regard. I mean, it's playable now, after all the updates and what they've done, but it's still a very bad Mass Effect game. So it's better off if they can sell it. I would say, definitely. That would be great if Bethesda could take over.
Yeah, I think they do some justice to that franchise. Mostly because they wouldn't rush out a bad product. Obviously, they told us about Starfield. That's probably not coming until next generation. So
I mean, they put some passion into Wolfenstein when they purchased that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they did. They've done a lot of work with that.
Fallout wasn't their franchise either. And they got that. So
Starfield's their first one they've actually made, isn't it?
25 years. First new IP
ever IP.
Right. Yeah.
25 years. They've had other IPs.
So let's speaking of next generation, did you guys see the job listing for Call of Duty 2019 from Infinity Ward, where they name next generation consoles just as that next gen systems? They're looking for somebody who can insert voiceover into cutscenes, essentially, and they do talk about next gen systems in that job listing, and that of course is for 2019 Call of Duty. So everybody was running around talking about possibly either the next Xbox or the next PlayStation showing up next year, maybe in the wintertime holiday season.
It's almost like those things I've been reporting on were exactly accurate.
Well, let me also talk about this real quick, because Wishbone actually put something in the super chat earlier that talked about, Ish says, jokingly said, why not mod an original Atari Jaguar and flash it? But outside of that, they said they had confirmation of an AMD employee from doing Uber a few days ago saying that the CPUs are being built and designed here in Austin, Texas, and the AMD PlayStation 5 CPUs are being made in Austin, Texas. But there was also a rumor going around about AMD's Navi chips that they're creating was actually the PlayStation chipset, and it was being created the entire time for PlayStation. So now everybody's running around thinking that there is a possibility of one of those two systems showing up next year in 2019 holiday. What do you guys think about just a possibility? You think it's still just 2020?
I think it makes sense. If you look at the history from all right, so say 2000 was PlayStation 2, right? And then 2006, 2007 was PS3, 360, and same kind of lifespan. It's 6 years, 5 years. We're going on what
5 years now.
Yeah, it's going on 5-6 years. Once 2019 is going to be 6. So
yeah. See, here's the thing about that is I think that Microsoft would want to jump out first.
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't at the same. Well, no. What was it? Xbox came out after PS2. So I mean, yeah.
The 360 came out for the PS3.
Yeah, you're right.
Full year out, and it's a big thought of why it was so successful. They rushed the 360, and it worked out really well, despite the fact that so many of them broke.
Maybe PlayStation's just waiting to see what Microsoft does, because Microsoft does kind of just here we're doing stuff, trying to get people excited, and then PlayStation I think learned this time around where they waited for Xbox to go first at E3. They were yeah, just go ahead and announce your whatever that is you call a console. And then we'll kind of make fun of you after we're done.
So,
you know what I mean?
So everything I've heard says that specifically Microsoft is very, 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 I don't want to use the word desperate, but I will say hungry. They're very hungry to hit the shelf way before PlayStation 5. A lot of what I'm hearing is that they specifically want to have an entire big production press conference about the Xbox 2 before Sony even gets a chance to talk about the PlayStation 5 to get that positive rumble focused on them. That way, when we're talking about the Call of Duty next year that'll be on next-gen consoles, we'll have to talk about Xbox 2 just by accident.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're seeing the whole Xbox trying to work with Japanese developers. Like, you know, they're trying to get every. Yeah,
See, I had a feeling.
I'm cool.
There's no point.
Yeah, you're right. And but like that just like what Max was saying just now, like it just kind of goes to show their desperation. They're kind of like hiding behind this like cloth of like, oh, we're not desperate, but hey, Japan, please
help us out.
We got some cocaine, bro.
That was the stupidest damn thing I saw. Phil Spencer, the Japanese game developers for insight. The Japanese game developers don't give a shit about hardware. It's not the hardware that's gonna make them put their games on it. It's system sales. You've never sold anything in Japan for 3 console generations.
I mean, the 360 sold okay. I will give them. I always give them credit.
Actually, the original Xbox did decent as well, but yeah, they have been dead in the water.
Compared to what are you guys talking about?
Compared to the Xbox One, I mean, the 360 was what 1.5 million, I think.
Yeah, but that's horrible though.
No, but still, millions of people. That's at least a percent of the population is picking it up. That's somebody that's actually paying attention. But man, it's just
compared to the Xbox One, that's a lot better. I will say that.
Yeah, right. What do they sell? 20 a week, literally.
Yeah, they've been doing a little better recently. It's been like 300 a week.
It's been put on a super sale in Japan, man. Like you can get one for like really cheap, and it's a lot of market like Blu-ray players.
Yeah, they're buy one get one free. They're like, please give it an Xbox to a friend.
You know, I would be really interested to see what happens if Microsoft decided to make it like a hybrid system, just to see if Japan would have responded to it better, just because it's a handheld instead.
That'd be a huge mistake.
I would just be curious, just the curiosity of it.
You know what? Rax was really on point there because like that, and he used a great word that they're hungry, or someone butted in and said that they're hungry.
Guys said hungry.
Because like look at the Wii U, 2012. Absolutely flunked. Switch was the first thing out. I think Switch is still considered 8th gen, not 9th gen. Mm-hmm. And then if you look at the Xbox sales compared to PlayStation, it's like half. So being out first, but the everyone knows. Sorry, the biggest issue that we face now with the next generation of consoles is the baseline PlayStation 5, Xbox 2 needs to be what the current PS4 Pro, Xbox One S is. That higher level of being able to do 4K 60 FPS has to be the standard. And for that, you need hardware prices to come down. And ever since they first came out with the Xbox, Bill Gates wanted, or no, sorry, not the Xbox, but the Xbox 360. They wanted to turn a profit on the system, not just the games. Mm-hmm. And then that's the reason that, you know, all the heat issues happened.
I don't think they can release the next Xbox at $400 in 2019.
No, absolutely not.
That's my main reason why I don't think the next generation systems are coming next year. I think it's going to be 2020. I think you're going to maybe announcement. You know, maybe we get more rumors and leaks.
My other thought was, what if they're designing this game to all, because Microsoft's all about backwards compatibility. What if they are designing it with maybe a patch in mind for the following year or something? Maybe they know that they can do that with Microsoft, and they're like,
just get it ready, a port.
Yeah, getting it ready. You know,
just get it ready. You got to start working on it at some point, right? I mean, obviously people are working on it. So
the thing I'm most curious about, and it's the thing I haven't heard from anybody, is I'm curious if they are just going to throw it out there and eat a humongous loss. Like, if they are just willing to throw the because I mean, let's face it, Microsoft has been losing millions when it comes to the Xbox team in general. So I'm curious if they're desperate enough to throw the Xbox 2 out there and lose 50 or $100 a console like Sony did at some points.
That would make Sega look like the smartest hardware manufacturer of all time. No, that would be suicide. The shareholders wouldn't stand for that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they're not going to greenlight that.
Yeah,
that's why they hide the Xbox with all their other Windows stuff.
Yeah, like
they literally hide it from the shareholders.
When was the last time you heard Xbox system sales concrete numbers?
10 million units was the last time we really heard it from.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago.
That's why they say the word Xbox Live users and they cough in the middle of it. We have now 60 million Xbox users. It's like
Rico Key 2 actually has a question for the next gen talk. Do you think Sony will do a console that comes with a powerful portable unit, and do you think Nintendo will release a powerful Switch next year? So like, I guess a revision or just a stronger one?
I guess part of that, actually, we have a Discord question from Airbrush. Do you think the next boost to performance for the Switch will be a dock that enhances the power, which is something we've talked about in the past, but I guess where everyone stands on it for that?
I mean, they're already using USB-C, which is the same port that they use for Thunderbolt 3. You could... it totally is a thing that you have external GPU running through USB-C Thunderbolt 3. So it's totally possible.
I thought so at the beginning. I was thinking about like maybe they could, but then that just reminds me so much of like Sega Saturn or something like that. It reminds me so much of like Sega CD and just plug. I just think they test run this Tegra X1. I think they're going to develop a GPU, a new GPU with NVIDIA that's just a lot better. I think they're going to do a custom GPU, not use the stock Tegra, and they're going to develop something and then make that as like the next Switch. I don't know if they're going to do anything.
So you think they're going to get a Switch 2?
No. As far as immediate stuff, they're going to be releasing with the new chipset. It's just a Switch. There's literally no difference. It's just going to be on the firmware and the hardware and the software, or not the software, but the firmware has special drivers and everything else. But it's just going to be a Switch, the same way that the original N64 and then the colored N64s came out, and that changed all the internals that made stop and swap not a possibility. Again, Banjo-Kazooie kick. But yeah, like it's just gonna be the Switch. They're not gonna give it a new name or anything else because that's gonna confuse consumers, and that's the number one thing Nintendo does not want to do right now. They learned their lesson with the Wii U.
Switch U.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get a Switch Mini or a Switch Pocket. I just can't believe. No matter how many specs and how many leaks I read, I can't imagine we're gonna get a Switch Pro.
I mean, what do you want? What do you want out of the Switch? Does everyone just want 1080p out of the Switch for the most part? Just straight up, like you put it in, it doesn't drop down to what's fine, like 360p. It doesn't drop down in resolution horribly or anything, and it's close to the Xbox One. They can just go with the X2, mold it around that, and drop it in. It's backwards compatible with the X1. It'll work.
I don't see them doing any big changes until 3, maybe 4 years into the life cycle.
That's what I'm thinking, though, John. That's what I said. Like, I think that they're just going to develop something new with NVIDIA and then release it when they feel like release it. I think at this point, everyone that wants to play like a Wolfenstein at 4K or whatever, they're just going to buy and play those games on PS4 and Xbox One.
Everyone knows you're not buying a Switch for performance.
Yeah,
you're buying a Switch so that you can play Nintendo games and now also portability.
Yeah, and like Japanese fighters, like Dragon Ball, like that's gonna do good stuff like that. That's what people buy Switch for. I'm not sure if people are like, oh, I want the latest Wolfenstein, I want the latest Call of Duty. I mean, that's just not what it's for.
Speaking of the portability, like, do you think that they'll ever add like something like a data plan where you can actually like play the thing anywhere online?
No.
They've done that. It's failed.
The booth that the Vita got for that.
Yeah, but like it was 3G. Yep. Like it was like 3G on the Vita. You're talking about like actual data. Yeah.
No, I mean, from the very early days of Nintendo, they tried that with modems on their systems and stuff, and it has never worked for them. I don't see them ever doing something like that. Plus, like, let's think about this. You could buy a Verizon Jetpack, and that's what, $10 a month?
True.
Use your phone as a portable hotspot. Like, people that are playing Pokemon Go, they have one phone with a hotspot. They have their iPad there that doesn't have cellular.
Yep.
You think they're going to go and then deal with all the different countries and all the different carriers and all the different bandwidths that you would need for data?
It's never gonna happen.
It's a cluster. You know what, man? It's like all that. It's bad. Like it's like doing all that data stuff and all that. Man.
So let's do this now then. Do you guys at all? We'll go around real quick. Think that any one of the two systems, new systems like Xbox 2 or PS5, will be released by holiday 2019? And just go around, yes or no.
No for me.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
I'll be the odd man out and say yes.
It makes sense, but no.
I think that one of them will be on store shelves in some way by end of 2019.
I think as far as like Xbox is sour from losing, and like they've learned their lessons. They've learned their lessons. If they do 2019 and they come out before the PlayStation, they're going to be taking that hit on the hardware. And only if that gets greenlighted by somewhere up above, because keep in mind, it's Microsoft pockets.
Yeah.
And they may even cancel out the fact that they have so many Xbox Live users that can help compensate for the price that, you're spending all this extra money. Or, hey, if you buy the Xbox 2, you're going to get a free year of Xbox Gold or 3 months or something like that. There's going to be
Game Pass for 5 years or something crazy. Because remember, I'm sure they'll try and do some sort of like special deluxe like opening deal.
That's going to be the only way you're going to see a 2019, and they're going to be taking a hit internally. So they would be coming with a strong lineup of games. They did just buy a whole bunch of indie developers, but those aren't system sellers.
Oh, what if they did what if they did call it something like, I saw that in the chat here, Capone Tone. What if they did call it the Xbox 4K?
Oh God. As bad as the name Xbox 2 is, at least I'm slightly warming up to it. Xbox 4K.
You did a podcast today. Good job, Yokozu. What were you saying, Max?
The name Xbox 4K is such a jumble of letters and numbers.
What if I told you
because the Xbox One X wasn't?
I was gonna say,
yeah, right? Exactly.
What if I told you we were leading up to the next gen systems and it was Xbox 360? I was like, they're just gonna call it the Xbox One.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that backfired on so bad because remember, right up until it was officially revealed, all the leaked documents said that it was called the Xbox 720. So every YouTuber was just being like, the 720 is going to do this, the 720 is going to do that, and then it came out and we're like, the one? Like, that's really the name you're going with?
I like what Gary Van said in the chat. We're going to call it the next box.
Yeah, well, because remember, that's actually what they called, that's what they were calling the Xbox One originally as well. So I'm glad that joke's coming back. Yeah.
Is there any chance they call it like the Xbox 4?
Box.
They just call it
Xbox 4. Well, I don't think they could because then the PlayStation is going to be called the PS5, and you know how consumers think.
Yeah.
Because everybody thought originally that the PlayStation was going to be the Infinity, and everybody thought that the Microsoft was going to be called the 8 because it ran on Windows 8 and it's the 8th generation.
Man.
Wait, did you just confirm the Xbox 10?
Xbox 10. No, yeah.
You guys remember when PlayStation had the commercial? It was like PlayStation 9, and then it had like the ball.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, some weird names out there for these consoles. They're gonna come up with something we wouldn't even thought of. Like I would never thought Xbox.
Although Xbox 4K makes sense from a business standpoint, everyone knows what 4K is. Or has an idea, or that name has already come out of someone's mouth.
You would buy it. You would buy it with your 4K TV as well because you're like, well, it works with my 4K.
Well, it is
4K in the title.
Adoption rate on 4K TV still isn't very high, and I feel like if you have a name like Xbox 4K, you're literally looking people in the eye and saying,
"Yo, Sean bought a 4K TV." I at this point, I believe anyone.
They're so cheap.
So many people have 4K TVs. You can walk into any wholesale club and get a 4K TV for under $500.
I think this Christmas is going to be the real, like, the big, like, jump off for 4K.
Yeah. The
it's going to be this Christmas, I think.
The quality is so diverse though between like the cheap 4K TV, man. You know that they're the cheap 4K.
HDR. No one knows what HDR is right now.
Yeah. But I kind of see what Max is saying though. I do think that there is still a large lot of people that still don't have one.
The problem is broadcast TV is still 1080p.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue right now. Like if I ask my grandparents, why don't you have a 4K TV? They're like, well, is the Phillies game in 4K?
We
No.
want to talk
Then why
about
would
the
I get it?
diversity of 4K. This 4K LG monitor is the biggest piece of shit I've ever
Austin,
bought in my life.
where the hell did you get that? I literally looked down and you
Did he
all
just throw it?
This giant TV.
Yeah. Like I also like while I was moving, it broke. But like it's the biggest.
That's
It
that's
really is.
that's 450,000 subscriber money, people.
I think
Right?
you need a hammer, Austin. I think you need a hammer.
Yeah,
When I moved houses, like I was super careful with it and everything. I laid it down on moving blankets, and then I set it all up, and then I just got one like something hit it in one spot that created a line, and then more lines, and it was garbage. It was garbage. and that was a good excuse to buy an ultra wide curve.
And now it's a frisbee.
Well, I will say, there are people who also say they'd rather have better frame rate. That seems to be the one thing out of everything that Phil Spencer has said about the next system is better frame rates. So
Yeah.
I feel like they should be shooting for that 60, but we'll see. We'll see. Big open world games at 60 frames would be pretty cool in the next.
and a good
system.
hertz, good refresh rate.
I mean, seeing all the games at 90 and 120, even though the human eye can't see above 60 FPS, I think that'd be great.
I mean, the Xbox One X supports 120 hertz now. You can do it now. I don't know what
about the PS4 Pro?
Oh no, the PS4 Pro actually compared to the PS4 Pro compared to the Xbox One X is a piece of junk. I'm gonna be honest.
Is it? Wow.
Internally, it is, and honestly, for the features, it is. I mean, it doesn't do most of the stuff the Xbox One X does.
I've thought about buying a PS4 Pro actually because a lot of people are upset. There's like definitely a little bit of an advantage with a lot because I'm really into competitive shooters, and a lot of competitive shooters you'll actually load the tiniest bit faster or have a little bit further draw distance. The people with PS4 Pros are murdering everybody in H1Z1 right now because they can literally get out a sniper rifle and see you from across the map further than you can see.
The Pro is obviously better than the base one, but the Xbox One X is much better than the Pro. To be honest, internally, I take it apart. You could tell just from the quality standpoint of like the parts they've used and just the performance and what it can do. I mean, seriously, it can,
price point reflects that.
Yeah, it is $100 more, absolutely. But honestly, I'm the type of person that would rather spend a little more to get more.
Yeah, and the PS4 Pro can even be like you can get those for like sometimes $350.
Yeah,
like I got mine for like $350. So
I have seen some deals online. I will say that you're right. Where if you shop around for either of these systems, I've seen like the Xbox One X for like $448 or something like that on eBay occasionally and stuff. So
it's $100 more expensive.
Yeah, either way, it's $100 more expensive. Yep. But I mean, with any of this stuff, you can shop around. I mean, we had the PS4 base down to what, like $150 on Black Friday at one point.
Yeah, it's still going online for about that much. My roommate, who's a hardcore PC and VR guy, is actually about to buy another PlayStation 4 so he can play God of War, and he's going online and just got one for $150.
Would Riku Key 2 said something that got me sparking an idea. Would Final Fantasy 7 for the PS5 be a system seller?
I mean, yeah.
Oh my god!
Absolutely would be. Honestly, because we'd just be so excited that's coming out.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be.
It's real.
But at the same time, like I think you would have like a giant controversy.
Wait, what did you say, Sean? Sean, what did you say?
I wouldn't be excited at all.
How do I boot Sean?
Kick him off the pot. I'm about to literally. Here we go.
Sean, did you play FF7 on the PS1 at all, or were you not really into that? Oh, you did. Okay.
I played it when it first came out, and I remember me and my buddy were playing it, and we were like, "Oh, this looks really cool. I like these graphics," and we were like, "Wow, this story is really like kind of lame, like emo." And then we went and played real RPGs like Brigadine and Cartier.
Yeah, I'm about to take these headphones off. You just wave at me when he's done insulting my baby.
Hang on, you have a good point. When we were kids, we didn't fully grasp the story that me playing it 8-10 years later. Now I understand the story and rebelling against an organization and things like that and playing it for the nostalgia. But like that was every RPG growing up.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you play Crisis Core on the PSP?
I did.
I did not.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
it was Final Fantasy 7.
Pretty good game.
Like,
dude. That is if the story's good, the ending is phenomenal in that game.
They need to do.
I cried.
They need to do a remake on Switch. I would buy that.
Oh
so
yeah.
fast.
Oh yeah. I'm in right away.
Even just up port, just give me the same graphics but just better frame rate and up. Like
if you are all into the universe of Final Fantasy 7 and you enjoyed Final Fantasy 7, you have to go play Crisis Core.
I was gonna buy a PSP just for that game.
It's worth it. I bought a PSP just for that game.
If you're cheap, I literally have like 7 PSPs. I can mail you one if you're cheap.
Great. Do you also have Crisis Core?
I do. I actually think I have a couple copies of it. Yeah, I have like 150 PSP games.
Great. I'll give you my promo billing address. It's 331 Centennial Ave, Cranford, New Jersey, 07016.
You might as well just buy a PSP anyway, Austin, just because it's gonna. I'm not saying becoming rare, but they are getting to that point.
I mean, at the same time, like I thought about just getting one because, like, I heard about like all the hacking and modding you could do to it and just play any emulator you want. Super easy.
Yeah. Well, and that it does great Super Nintendo emulation on it and stuff. Man, I've played so much. Actually, that's how I beat a lot of PS1 RPGs. Like the first time I ever beat Chrono Trigger was actually the PS1 port. I don't know why, but man.
Let me ask you guys this from True Dog X. They asked, "What's more important to you guys? Is it frame rate or resolution?"
Frame rate.
Yeah,
frame rate, but there's a line for both.
But what if a resolution is 144p?
That's
but the frame rate's 120.
That's what I'm saying. There's a line for it. Like there's a point where you're just looking at pixels. You're like, what am I staring at?
We know there's a standard line though. Right? Like, we all know that there's like a.
I'll take 1080p. As long as stuff's 30. I only care about 30 frames a second. 60 frames a second looks good, especially like Fortnite, and 60 frames looks fantastic. But I'm also like, if I can only choose one or the other, I choose resolution.
Okay. I need at least a standard. Yeah, like 1080p, pretty solid. 60.
I think 1080 60 should be like the standard. Every single game should be 1080 60. Why is it not?
It just can't. They can't. It's not. I mean, I think it's more of like the CPUs, right? That's causing the issue.
But you're talking, for the Xbox One X, that everything should be 1080 60 on that. Straight up, you know.
It's the CPU. It's the CPU, kind of bottlenecking a bit.
Except for the Switch, obviously.
With the Switch, I mean, it's the same thing, though. I mean, the type of games, though, that are on there, obviously, they're not as demanding as what you would expect from what you see on PS4 and Xbox One with some of these third-party developers like Nintendo. I mean, Microsoft and Sony, if they did more games like Nintendo, they'd be able to hit 1080p 60.
I will say this, if a Switch revision comes out, I could see Mario Odyssey, because it's a dynamic resolution, I could see that actually being a 1080p 60 game, because it already runs at 60 now, and the resolution will just drop when it needs to. But if you have a revision, that roof resolution will stay much higher the entire time. That's a game to go back to, I think, when you get that revision, just to check it out.
I mean, like, I've seen like Citra mods for Breath of the Wild at 60 FPS with 1080 or at 4K and cell shading in there, and oh god, is that glorious!
It looks great, right?
Co-op.
Yeah.
The real question is, when I buy this new revision that's probably going to come out in a year or two for the Switch, even if it's like a half step for them, like the new 3DS was, will I be able to play WWE 2K18 at 12 frames per second?
Yeah, bro.
That game, man. They just abandoned everybody too. They've quietly left at this point, just so everyone knows.
The revision is going to be absolutely nothing. Everyone knows your first revision is get the price down. That's it.
Well, the price. I mean, do you mean like? Do you mean like did they do the 2DS first or the new Nintendo?
I mean, even if you go back, the DS Lite, I mean, was a pretty big quality of life over the original DS, and then we had the Game Boy Advance SP, which was a lit screen over the GBA.
Game Boy Micro.
But at the same time, like, I don't know about those systems specifically, but like they may have done stuff to the hardware that slightly changed it and got their price down.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that. I can't remember the prices on that SP. I know the DS Lite came out like a year later. From that DS, and DS was a piece of
Nintendo
junk.
even like lied like days before they made the announcement. They're like, are you gonna have a DS like a revision? They said Reggie was like no, and then they like days later they announced that like DS Lite is coming. Like literally,
they changed their mind, man.
My favorite lie ever was Sony claiming the PS4 Slim did not exist after a journalist had
don't tell OJ about that.
Oh god.
So
Sony came for his channel, man.
Oh, Sony came for my booty, man. They
Dude, they struck his channel, man.
They struck my channel. I had to puff my chest out and act like I had like some type of lawyer and everything that would take them down. They got kind of, I think they backed off after that. But yeah, they strike my channel for simply talking about an article that I got from like IGN, and everybody else was talking about it too. Like they didn't strike them.
No, OJ, you were out of line somehow.
Evan, how many questions do we have left in Discord, Evan?
Oh, we got one left.
Okay.
So
maybe with that, we'll talk about Tokyo Game Show, and then we'll be done.
All right, this one's from Jack Sparrow, and it's how do you think indie developer consolidation will play out as we head into the next generation? Specifically, he's talking about Thunderful Games, which is the merger of Image and Form and Zoink, also now acquiring Rising Star Games.
They got Rising Star Games, yeah. You're talking about just some of them really buying each other, essentially. Like bigger ones swallowing up smaller ones. Here's the thing about that is indie developers get created constantly.
Yeah, there's probably been
like new studios.
Like 15 new indie developers.
That was actually kind of a surprising announcement too when I saw that they bought them.
I think they're trying to become more like a Nicalis or like a like a Arc System Works, like that double A type that can potentially put out that really awesome game that everybody. I think they're trying to become more like that. And at this point,
I feel like a lot of these groups talk to each other a lot. Like they have a really good community between the indie developers. So if enough of them think they're really cool together, they'll probably just merge to try to hit that rating to be more in the forefront as more and more like very basic indie companies come into play.
Because you look at something like SteamWorld Dig and you look at the sales for that, probably like around 500,000 units, like, for the Switch. Like imagine if they had a little bit more time, a little bit more money, like what they could do. It seems like they're going to do something crazy, but imagine what they can do, like with SteamWorld Dig on the Switch, but actually make it, a little bit more than what they've had, like a budget in terms of what they've done. I think they can do some great things. So I think that's maybe what they're aiming for.
I'm gonna be curious to see who else buys who else. Like it was that one surprised me a bit because I just never know how much money some of these indie developers actually can throw around.
Exactly, like Nicalis. It's like I never knew that Nicalis actually has the type of money that they have.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like they do.
Sometimes. Yeah, it's very surprising sometimes.
Did they buy like the Tony Hawk developer, like the old Tony Hawk developer, something like
was that Neversoft?
Yeah, they I was like, wait a minute, what? Like, what they paid for them?
Well, a lot of that comes down to the investors that they find. So pulling these groups together, you're just going to have a wider pool of investors for single companies.
It's also going to be surprising to see if any of these indie developers or I guess publishers at that point get so big that they're not really indie anymore and they turn into almost like a not really
they become their own publisher,
THQ, like a THQ Nordic. Something like that. It's very possible. There was one super chat that I missed. That's from Keelan Delancey. Asking about Western RPGs, do you want more on the Switch? I guess that's like Western RPGs being like a Fallout, or I guess like a Mass Effect even.
Yeah, very, very much so. I've always said the number one things I want is I'm so hungry to get more horror games on Switch. I feel like that's what we're lacking the most of. But also, more Western RPGs would just help that take off even more. Like give us a freaking Witcher spinoff or something. It would sell 10 million units.
How is there not a Mass Effect collection or something on the Switch yet? That seems like easy money.
Because it's EA.
EA and Unreal. The two things are EA and Unreal Engine 3. They do not want to take the time. Well, just because they're douchebags because they're EA. But then on top of that, you'd have to port over Unreal Engine 3 to Switch. So it would take to do.
But we've seen companies do that now, right? Outlast was Unreal Engine 3, right?
Absolutely. But I just don't think they want it. Wouldn't be necessarily like a breathe to do it. It would definitely take some work to get it, to get it going good. Like from basically what Panic Button has said with their work with Rocket League and having to kind of do the Unreal Engine 3 on that game, like it definitely wasn't easy. But they could obviously EA could do it. They have enough money and capital, but it's douchebag EA.
They could hire a Panic Button, right, and get it done.
They can make their own team and do it. EA has enough capital to make their own team.
Iron Galaxy could probably even go do it if they really want.
EA probably has a building filled with developers that are just sitting
there's developers. They're just douchey. It's just there's no other way. I'm sorry, there's no other way I can describe it other than they're douchebags.
Spawn, I was looking for your Discord and I found, do you know that there's a Spawn Wave Media subreddit?
Yeah.
We kind of, us and the devs that made it all kind of abandoned it after it became just a whirl of memes.
It's just YouTube links.
Oh no, that's the other one. There were two of them. There was the archive of the Spawncasts and other videos, I think, and then there was the one that was weird photoshops and like Ted Sumo posts there.
Evan and our Potter stuff were running it.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird memeing of the podcast, what was that thing I was tagged in on Twitter?
No, look at the other one. There's a lot of them. Ted Sumo's been doing.
What the hell was that?
It's just someone having fun with the podcast.
A work of art, my friend.
I'm watching this and I'm just like, this took time.
You just hear smacking it.
Do you have it? Do you have that? Do you have that in front of you? Can you drop that in the chat, Austin, for people to check out?
I don't want to. It starts with boogers running out of my nose.
Yeah, it was like heavily focused on you. It
was all me.
Yeah,
he does that. He does that. The first one I think was
it's a
Sean,
series of them. Yeah,
but it was Sean focusing, I think, on him like yelling a lot or something.
I mean that makes sense because that's what Sean does.
It's not wrong.
That's why he's here. He just sits here with his jersey. Is that a spiral staircase, by the way?
It is.
Where does it go?
To the
nowhere.
Okay.
To the love dungeon.
Wait, yeah, we gotta get that. That Evan, do you have that video? It's a whole series of videos that they've been making.
It's just Ted Sumo. He's got.
Do you have the link you can put in the chat for everybody? They're asking.
Find it. All right.
So let's finish up with Tokyo Game Show. Before we finish up here, Tokyo Game Show is coming up. Is Tokyo Game Show in August?
September.
Nintendo is going there for the first time in apparently 10 years or so since the Wii. And they're going there to apparently talk with developers and other people behind closed doors. You need an appointment. There'd be meeting rooms, I guess, and everything. And now everyone's trying to figure out what they're doing there. Some people have said they're shopping around and talking about new hardware that's coming up. Some people have said that they're just trying to make deals with third parties, which you would assume that like Octopath didn't just happen, magically. And Nintendo and Square talked about it and they came to a deal. And it's making people wonder if maybe there's some other cool exclusive type RPGs and stuff. Because you go to Tokyo Game Show, obviously, for Japanese-based games. So what are you guys thinking here? You think they're shopping around new hardware? I think they're looking for some more exclusives for, I guess, the Japanese influence, like an RPG.
It's probably like, hey, look, we're doing so successful with the Switch sales. Like, look at all the games selling so well. Probably like trying to recruit more developers and more stuff just so the lifespan goes. You know what I mean? Obviously, we see that dip in stock sales or whatever. So they're probably just trying to recruit more people. That's how I feel.
I think it's particularly to tie up the loose ends in terms of the games that haven't came over. When can we get these games like Code Vein? Stuff like that. So it's tying up the loose ends on those type of games. Like, okay, well, when are we gonna get ports on those games? You want to have your game, worldwide launch this year. You want to get it. Like, how are we gonna announce it? Nintendo Direct. How do you guys want to do that there? Like, you want to announce it first here. So I think it's gonna be stuff like that. Like how we got like the Dark Souls announcement, first on Nintendo's Direct.
Do you think they close any big deal?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, do you think there's one that they're still like kind of talking with, and they go there and they sign the paper and they close that thing?
Absolutely, we've seen that before, right? We saw that with SNK, like where Nintendo, where they're at like the meeting or whatever for business, and Nintendo said, "Hey, we want to talk to you guys. Like, let's close the deal. We'll buy this many, but here's the deal: you make this to where it's physical only on Switch. Switch obviously gets the better deal of it, and we'll go about it that way. We can help out. So I think there's going to be like tying up like deals for certain things and making sure that they get stuff. That's what I feel it is.
I wondered if it was also because their new president would want to go and actually meet with these developers and stuff face to face, introduce himself, and just I guess jump right in at that point.
Yep.
So
it's a possibility as well. He's known as a motivator of development teams. Apparently, a lot of the games that were coming out, he really helped out the team. He was kind of like one of the unsung heroes in a lot of the games that launched in the first year of the Switch. So that's the reason why he was promoted to president. So, absolutely.
What do you think, Sean? You think they're going there to close the I guess the book on getting Shenmue 1 and 2 over?
Stop it. I mean it's all going to be behind closed doors shit. We'll never hear about it. I don't think it's a big.
I hope somebody leaks something. That'd be funny.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they'll leak something, whether it's real or not. That's another question. But it'll just be behind closed doors stuff. Nothing that we'll hear about or anything.
There's lots of dealing. So I mean, it's something that'll be good in 6 months or a year. I'm I'm hoping that it just leads to a huge influx of games. I just want 2019. I want 2019 to be the year of the Switch. Like, show us what the heck you've been working on, and if these deals can help iron out some extra ports and stuff, hell yeah.
OJ, let me ask you one question real quick as someone who does Smash. Do you think there's any possibility that they go there to discuss a possible DLC Smash character in the future?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. There's definitely going to be there for DLC characters and when they could be coming. Yes, absolutely. Smash is one of those key franchises where, it's beneficial to everybody when your character Smash, it's just beneficial to everybody, even if the game doesn't end up showing up. Like, I don't know, like Final Fantasy VII Remake or whatever the case is, Street Fighter, like having Ryu in there was probably like, okay, well, Ryu's coming.
Well, I mean, it's worked with their own franchise. Remember when Ness showed up in the N64 version? People were like, who is this?
Exactly.
And people went back and looked for Earthbound and
Fire Emblem. We didn't even have a Fire Emblem game.
Yes, I remember that Fire Emblem. That was a big deal actually at that time. We were trying to figure out who these people were.
That's part of the reason why we got Fire Emblem, was because of how many people showed interest in who are these characters. Nintendo was like, okay, I guess we'll release a Fire Emblem for you bums, you stupid Americans. Can't you guys want to like this, So they thought it was too complex for us,
Yeah. Waluigi confirmed.
So yeah, absolutely. I think they can go there to try to see who else they can get. But yeah, I think it's stuff like for me, I think it's stuff like Code Veins, the games like that. Like, hey, when are we gonna get ports for those?
Okay. I would like to see them try to lock down that Shenmue 1 and 2 for from Sega. That'd be cool to see.
Gino for Smash.
Gino doesn't. I think Square has those rights, don't they? They still do. I think.
Square.
Yeah, it was their original IP.
Mallow too. Mallow and Gino, both of them.
Yep.
I think.
I don't think anyone misses Mallow. He's just a bad Kirby.
What were you saying? What were you saying, Max?
I was gonna say, I've been following all the stuff about Shenmue HD collection very, very, very closely these last couple of weeks as they drip out all the information. And hold on, I gotta sneeze. I do think we're gonna probably get it on Switch. I do think it's possible now. Seeing all the stuff that they're talking a lot about the development of it and how they made it for the PS4 and Xbox One, I definitely think it's possible that it'll come to the Switch as well now.
It sounds like it'll come a little later just because the development cycle was.
What's the engine it runs on? What does it run on?
It runs on a custom engine that they made just for that game. I mean, they made it
has to run it has to run at 30 frames per second, even on PC though.
Yes. Well, and they had to do so much recoding of stuff of like the game was programmed to only be viewable in 4:3. So they had to like rework. They had to do all sorts of weird shortcut hacks to make it even widescreen when you're doing gameplay. So I think it's they're just trying to iron out that, because Shenmue 1 is going to be a remaster of the Dreamcast version. Shenmue 2 is a remaster of the Xbox version because that had like the extra filters. I think they're just trying to figure out all of that completely, and they're going to probably throw it on.
How crazy would that be if when Shenmue would be like a portable game like that?
I mean, I have 4 copies pre-ordered so far. I'm gonna pre-order, and then I have I'm getting a review copy.
Yo, that could also put Shenmue on a cartridge.
Yeah, and then I'd buy a cartridge of it too, man. It's just I'm so happy that it exists.
Probably.
All right. Well, all right. So I guess that's going to do it for episode 66 of Spawncast. That's all the questions, Evan, that were in Discord and everything?
Yep, that covers everything.
We're good. All right.
For next week.
We did it. All right, cool. I guess that's it there. Let's go around here and do some outros here. What about Austin over there? Let them know, where can they find you, man?
I'm Austin from Austin John Plays. I play video games. I've been called a Zelda tuber and PokeTuber, so that's what I do here on YouTube. And right now, I'm one of the early pioneers of Facebook gaming, where I do my daily live streams. So you could come through. Right now, we are playing Banjo-Tooie because why not?
Okay, easy enough. Oh, I think this one's for you, OJ. Avedon says, "Great stream and dollars in your pockets."
Put your dollars in your pockets. Let's go.
Where can they find you, OJ?
You can find me at Wario Stadium where I put my dollar. No, I'm joking. You can find me
Bronco.
on a white Bronco. You can find me right here on YouTube, PlayerEssence. Basically, I'll probably be turning into a Smash Brothers YouTuber at some point. Like, that'll be my transition, my final form. But yeah, I play a lot of Smash Brothers. We play Fortnite. We play Paladins a lot. We got a cool community. I cover a lot of Japanese gaming news, have a lot of knowledge on that. I'm going to be playing competitively in Dragon Ball Fighters. So that'll be fun.
I'll be playing competitively in Smash. So if you like Japanese gaming, you like RPGs. I like Western RPGs too. I like Fallout. I like Mass Effect, but that franchise is dead. So if you like all that stuff, you like RPGs, like adventure games, expansion, Zelda, all that cool stuff, you can find me right here on YouTube at PlayerEssence, and I'll link my channel too.
We have, I think we have someone you guys can raid here when we finish up. Don't worry. What about Rax? Rax, where can they find you, man?
Well, you can find me at RAXtheGREAT, all one word. I have an unhealthy obsession for Castlevania, and that's what the last couple of videos that I've done have been on my channel. Obviously, you see me here on the Spawncast. You might catch me here every once in a while, and whenever John invites me. And hey, here's a link to my channel in the chat. Yep. Also, if you guys didn't see, what happened at Too Many Games, you could check out a small little vlog of that experience on my channel as well. You might see some familiar faces on here. And yeah. I
saw your RGT85 shirt.
It's a good shirt, man.
Yeah, you told me that came with a chick magnet. I want my money back. It's not working.
False advertising, Dave.
What is the magnet?
What about Max? Max, where can they find you, man?
I'm at youtube.com/Dreamcastguy. I do all sorts of different stuff. This week, obviously, I'm hard at work on a giant Octopath Traveler review because I am obsessed with RPGs, and I'm really coming at it kind of the Final Fantasy angle because I love Final Fantasy. They're treating this like a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy VI, so I'm really going to be going deep. So sometime in the next couple days, you should be seeing that review. And then follow me on Twitter, actually, because I'm going to be doing a convention next week called Tokyo in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And they have me doing like 5 different panels. So I'm going to be doing a Q&A, a how to be a gaming YouTuber talk. I'm going to be doing a special version of Top 10 Thursday live with an episode I could never do on YouTube, which is going to have a bunch of copyright infringement videos live on a projector. So it should be fun.
Nice.
That's one way to get around the copyright, just project it on the side wall.
Exactly. And that was my plan. It was a video I always wanted to do, and I was like, I could not upload this to YouTube. I'll do it live and charge people.
I should have done that for Breath of the Wild for the Great Plateau.
Yeah.
And then what about Sean? Where can they find you, man?
You can find me in your local trash can playing with pogs and garbage pail kids. Yeah, you can find me RGT85. We'll have a Sonic Mania review up Tuesday morning. Captain Toad at some point, probably. Shining Resonance Refrain this week as well. And then I'm going out of town on Sunday for a couple days, so I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do, but yeah, we'll figure out something.
And then we got Evan. Evan mostly is on Twitter. You can follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll put the link up. I mean, I post there when I'm streaming and stuff, and I guess I can try to do this because the past couple days I've been, throwing these out.
So. Hey.
Oh, that's cool. Hold on, let me put that up on the screen. That's a Spider-Man you
Yeah, this is the Spider-Man one I finished today in 3 hours, and then this one yesterday in 4 because Ditko died.
Let me buy those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, legit.
I still have to figure out how to ship you the Pyramid Head poster.
Yeah, seriously, DM me. I don't care if I have to pay shipping or suck your dick or whatever. I want that Pyramid Head
poster. Wait a minute.
Yeah, we're escalating this.
Whoa.
Just got spicy in here.
I mean, yeah. I would pay you for a Link or a Majora.
Evan's done Zelda and everything. Yeah.
Those are on my shop right now.
How would Nightwing cosplay feel about what you
link
just
your shop in the chat?
Evan just blew my mind.
Yeah, he puts his stuff up on Twitter. He puts
this
a lot of
this is what I'm doing on the side of doing all the other stuff with Spawnwave and everything. Like way too much work.
You'll usually draw that on Twitch too, right? Like you're on Twitch streaming. And
the Spider-Man I did today in 3 hours. I just sat down and did it. And then the Venom I had to do over the course of 2 shows because I had a day job thing I had to go do. So
that's wild.
Yeah, man. There's some good stuff over there. I guess that's it. Hold on. I had Nintendo Primes. Yes, I believe that's it right there. Stream. If you want to go, you can raid him and make sure. Yes, that is it. You guys can go ahead and raid him. He's playing some Splatoon, I believe, right now.
Good choice. Good choice.
Splatoon 2. Yep, cool. So yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for us. Yep, go ahead and raid Nintendo Prime. Tell them the Spawncast sent you guys. And that's gonna do it for episode 66. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back here next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Do it all over again. We'll see you guys then.
Macaroni.